Hello, I'm MC Toon. Welcome to my channel. Tonight we are planning to have a talk on relativity and whether or not it's correct. And my guest thinks that it's not. Unfortunately, he's not here yet, and I don't know where he is. I have sent him an email. I had a conversation with him last week. And I sent him a couple things, I sent him the Zoom link. He's not responded. So I think what I'll do, I'll go over in his absence, and if he doesn't show up, then I have some other plans. But I'll go over some of the things that excuse me, that I was going to talk about. Clearly not enough Toonshine here. Go over some of the things that I was going to talk with him about from relativity and the aether perspective, and hopefully he'll join. Otherwise, we will. I was going to do the call-in show, and I'll just change the icon for it. So if he doesn't show up by the time I get over that, then we'll switch it up. So if you're interested in calling in, this might be your chance. So David Kircher says, you awaken in a haze. There's a handprint shaped dent in your forehead when you're attacked by ninjas. Were you attacked by ninjas, or did you just watch a Flurf debate? We'll never know. Touching. I cried. Waikikamoo Cow says, if relativity is relative, the observer's relative position on Earth relative to its relative position in space, does this mean that pineapple belongs on a burger? That's a good one. For reference, I did have pineapple and pizza today. We had a work lunch. So there you go. What are my books on relativity, says Eric Erpelding. I don't have any. I do, actually. That's wrong. I've not read them. I have them handy. Oh, yeah. I have this. I've not read much of it. I've read enough because Witsit talks about this book. I'm 100% certain he's not read it. I got this book. I looked at it enough to know that he's not read it, because he constantly references a quote from here saying, as if Hawking, who wrote this, as if Hawking was reiterating something from Einstein, but actually, this is an anthology. It's select writings from Einstein, with a foreword about 3 pages written by Hawking. That's mostly what this book is. So when Austin says things, like, oh, well, Hawking, I got to get the quote. He's like, well, this whole book is about, and then he says what he thinks this book is about based on just the title. Witsit didn't read this, and he would dare to tell you what this book is about. That's one. And there, this one, which I've also not yet read, by Dr. Becky Smethurst. A good channel. I don't watch her stuff very much, but one of the stuff I've watched is very good. So I ordered this. I actually did a pre-order when this first was available on pre-order. I did pick it up, and I forgot about it. And then one day it shows up. I'm like, "What's this? Yay!" C3P Hole says it's pronounced Gary. Why bother? All right, Eat Meal says, sorry, big homie, I had to tap out of the Ryan debate. The dude was saying that water doesn't matter if there is land under it, but I'm here now. Thank you for that. No email from him yet. All right, so here's what, if you watched my video that came out on Conspiracy Tunes today, it's a bit of the same, but I'll maybe elaborate a little bit. So, David and I agreed to talk about Michelson Morley and Michelson Gale. And that's because those are the ones with relativity in mind that flat earthers typically talk about. So it's fresh in my mind, and so to give you a background a little bit, I did talk with David, and now I'm going to Hilster, Hilster, with David last week on Tuesday. We had a nice conversation. I think that he is a decent guy, and to question science is absolutely the right thing to do, and that's what he's doing. He's questioning science. I think to question science and then reject the results because you have a pre-selected conclusion, that's not science. That's the process of anti-science, or the using the anti-scientific method, which is what flat earthers do, what chemtrailers do, what plenty of people do. I don't think that's what David is doing. His positions are, he's gotten to them by actually examining evidence. I think his take on it maybe is quite a bit off. But that's, I don't think it's on accident that he got there, and I don't think it's because he pre-selected something. So that's why, so I did not put, so if you watched the video from last night, I put on the little bottom corner, the bottom right corner, I wrote I had a little icon that was real science with a little Bohr atom looking icon there. So I thought, well, to delineate a debate with a derpy flat earther and an interview with somebody who's actually presenting science, well, that's one of the ways that I want to do that, is so that you can see the icon at the bottom. Maybe that'll help. Because you don't know, right? You're like, oh, we're gonna have a flat earther in here. No, and I have an actual scientist that's got some, real stuff to show. I want you to know that coming in. So that's one of the hints I'm gonna do. But this one's on the in-between, right? He's not a flat earther, he's not a science denier, but he's not like, here's the here's how real science is done. He's kind of in between. So I don't know how to do this one. I still haven't seen anything from him. Anyway, so Michelson Morley, I'll go over it again. Albert Michelson is the main guy in this, and he was absolutely 100% in favor of the aether. And in 1887, the late 1800s, this was the mainstream science, and he was one of the people leading that charge, one of the big dogs in mainstream science for how light propagated. So when somebody says you can't buck the system, you can't challenge mainstream science, you absolutely can. This is a great story. Vera Rubin is another. If you look at Thomas Kuhn and his application of the philosophy of science, this is right here, a revolutionary change. What we saw starting with Michelson Morley. Maybe it's peaking with Michelson Morley, because there's stuff before that. There's things like the Maxwell equations popping out the speed of light in there. And Airy's failure was before that. And there's other experiments that started to chip away at the leading aether is the way of the light propagation. So they were expecting, because the Michelson Morley interferometer, they split light into two paths, and the two paths were perpendicular to each other. One in each direction there. And they oriented it so that one of the paths was going mostly into the path that the Earth was traveling around the sun in its orbit. And the other one then was going sideways. So the idea for aether was that because it was going into the medium, then that would affect the light's speed. And just like if you're on a boat and you look at the front of the boat, you can see the waves in the front of the boat are all bunched up. Similar to that. And then the ones going sideways, they said, well, it shouldn't be affected by it, at least the amount of time it takes to go laterally there, because it's not going against the flow. Well, they did not find that to be the case. When they measured it, they found that the light traveled the same in both directions. And that was the first of thousands of experiments of similar style, similar nature, including some that are billions of times more precise. So you don't need to just question, oh, well, there were fringes. At the time, when the only experiment you could look at was Michelson Morley, you could maybe say, well, the precision wasn't there, but they've definitely improved the precision. So that didn't work with the aether, and the people that were looking at that saying, well, how can that be? And one of their propositions was that, well, if the aether still exists, because they didn't want to let go of it, understandably, then that means that the Earth and the aether together must be moving at the same rate. They must be stationary in relation to each other, right? That doesn't mean Earth not moving. That means Earth and aether at the same rate. So could be not moving, could be both moving together. And one of the ideas was that the Earth is so big that it brought the aether with it, right? And they get into that in a little bit. That was one of the hypotheses. The other was from Lorentz and Fitzgerald, where they said, well, maybe, this is where Whitsitt gets this right. He gets this part right. Maybe things get squished, physically squished by the aether, right? This arm of space between where the laser comes out and the mirror and it comes back. Maybe this gets physically squished as it goes into the aether. It gets shorter, right? And they reverse engineered, which is what you always do. And it's super common in science. You say, all right, well, what's the consequences of that? Let's compute the consequences of that. So it would have to compress in order for this to happen, right? So it's moving through the aether, and if it got shorter because of the aether, well, then that would answer it. But it didn't make sense, because things that are made of wood and things that are made of steel would have to compress the same amount. That doesn't make sense. When do we see things that are made of drastically different materials compress the same amount when you press on them? It doesn't make sense. So they're like, well, that doesn't... It does... Liquid Flames, that experiment does sound like LEGO. LEGO is a very large version of it, in fact. So yes. But LEGO, while LEGO is very similar to this, it's actually different. I'll have to come around to that. I don't want to get off track. So I'll come back to LEGO. Einstein saw the results of that in 1887, and by 1905 he took those results. He took things from Maxwell's 4 equations of electromagnetism, where the speed of light pops out, and he applied that. And if you look, I forgot the exact name, but the name of his paper in 1905 about what we call special relativity, he didn't call it special relativity. I'm sure somebody can tell me. It's a something like on the motion of moving objects, and electromagnetism. Darn it! Somebody help me on that. I'll quote. I'll say it when you get it. Anyway, he proposed that. He said, well, the speed of light is the same in your frame, no matter what. It's always the same. It's an absolute. It doesn't change. And that explains it. And also other people see the speed of light that aren't in your frame to be the same. And that's where it gets weird. Anyway, so that's Michelson Morley. Flat earthers' position is that the Earth is stationary, the aether is stationary, and the aether still is the medium. And the reason why there was no measured movement is because there's no movement. That's their position, right? Relativity says no. Flat earthers say it's not relativity, it's aether. Whitsitt says relativity predicts, and then the wrong thing. He gets it wrong there. far as I know, it's a little it's a little confusing, not compli a little confusing exactly what he thinks about relativity, because he doesn't have the foundation in relativity and in physics in general to understand it. So he's just kind of getting little clips. He just kind of cherry picks things, and he doesn't have the background. Here's the other thing: he doesn't have the background to see when he reads something that's real and he reads something that's not real. He can't distinguish between them. He doesn't have the background to say, no, this is crap and this is not crap. He lacks that. 82 Productions. That's where it gets weird. And no more true statement about physics has ever been stated. What about quantum stuff? Quantum stuff. I think the quantum stuff is weirder than relativity. There, AT2. So anyway, okay. Did somebody get? Oh, there it is. Barry F. On the electrodynamics of moving bodies. Hold on. The mute button is great for myself. Matt Klein. So when is Whitsitt scheduled to release a scientific paper on relativity, and what journal is his paper supposed to be in? That's a great question. He talks, he's like, I'm going to do the math. But you know what? You go look at the Tartaria Discord server. He's in there every night. He's not doing the research to establish the empirical or the hypothetical position for his stuff. He doesn't care. He's not doing that. He can't. He can't do the math. Austin Whitsitt cannot do math. So, okay. So that's Michelson Morley. Then we get to Michelson Gale. Now, Michelson, by 1925, relativity was well established, right? It was 20 years after special relativity, 10 years after general relativity was published. Eddington was 6 years prior. I don't know. But Michelson was still completely convinced about the aether, and so his Michelson Gale experiment, or Michelson Gale Pearson, it's always called Michelson Gale, and I don't know why Whitsitt always adds Pearson. It sometimes includes Pearson, but I just read it the other day, and it's like, oh, we also invited Pearson along. It's about it. It's about it for the inclusion of him. So okay, so he was trying to measure the rotation of the Earth with regard to the aether. It's important to know that years after relativity had been published and established and well on its way to becoming accepted, the accepted paradigm, if you look at Thomas Kuhn's paradigms, he's like the stalwart guy saying, no, aether, it's gonna be aether. So if you look at the actual write-up, the abstract of the 1925 paper, there's two parts, part one, part two. He talks about measuring the rotation of the Earth in the aether. And I think he was expecting that he would get a zero reading. I think that's what he was hoping for, right? Because they're using the Sagnac effect, and they knew the Sagnac effect worked in small scale, right? When you rotate something, it measures a rotation. And so anyway, so they did this thing. It's about, the whole ring is 1.9 kilometers in this ring that they did, right? Modern optical gyroscopes are significantly smaller because the precision's better. They put it in 1 foot diameter plumbing tubes in a 2 kilometer rectangle. And then there's actually another section that's a little more than that. They had a big ring and a small ring. And if you look where it is now, it's in well, basically it's where O'Hare Airport is now, or actually if you go a little farther south, right to where they have that latitude, it's where all of the train lines go in Chicago, Go look it up. Look at the paper. Look at the latitude that they're at. It's where the trains are, right next to O'Hare Airport is I think where they were. Obviously, all those things are long gone by now. But they put down concrete footings on the corners, and they built this big ring and rectangle, and they measured the rotation of the Earth at 41 degrees 46 arc minutes north, and they got what the rotation of the Earth predicts. Yay. But here's where the Aether people have a problem. The Earth stationary Aether people. They say Michelson Morley measured, they say Aether exists. Michelson Morley measured 0, not a failure, measured 0, and Aether is stationary, Earth stationary, and it worked. It was a successful measurement, they say. And Michelson Gale, for flat earthers, Earth stationary, Aether exist, measured a rotation. Austin even agrees it measures a sidereal rotation. Where's this rotation? When there's no rotation here and there's rotation here, no movement at all on Michelson Morley. If Aether exists, there's no motion. Michelson Gale measured, where is it? Austin says, oh, there were fringes that Michelson Morley measured. So he's going on the margin of error, the imprecision of the measurement. Ooh. Except that it's been done much, much more precisely, Austin. He mentions them in passing. He's like, oh, there was a 1980-something Air Force one that did it. And they also measured a little bit of margin of error. But he never looked at the margin of error. He never actually applied the math, right? He can't do math. Austin, you can't do math. We all know it. So this is the really critical part that they miss. And I wanted to do a graphic for this, but in my video that I did today on my Conspiracy Tunes channel, but whatever. Right? So here is the Michelson Gale tubes, right? So you got the stuff at work down there where they put the mirror in, they got the laser, they got the measurements, right? All that down there. And they send light this way, they send light this way, it comes around and then it interferes on the way back. So, but take this to be any interferometer that's doing this type of measurement, any optical gyroscope in an airplane, Bob's 15 degree per hour one, right? There's 3 of these. There's one in this plane, there's one in this plane, there's one in this plane. And all 3 of them together measure 15 degrees per hour rotation. All 3 of them together measure it. And that's because if the Earth is rotating, right, and this is on the equator, right, and it's going this way, well, there's no rotation. It's not actually getting rotation in this one, right? But it is getting it in this one, right? And it's not getting it in this one, right? So if it's actually completely like orthogonal to the motion and orthogonal to the motion and face onto the motion, right? It's going to get it in just one of the axes, but normally that's not the case. So you measure it in all 3. But let's just take the one case here, right? Where you've got this laying flat on the Earth, and you've got the North Pole some distance far, far away, right? Thousands of miles away this way, and there's a vortexing Aether according to Whitsitt. Vortexing Aether. Well, if the vortexing Aether is way the crap that way, then what you're going to be getting is a lateral vortex. Just when you're thousands of miles away, that vortex is just this lateral movement here, right? Well, Michelson Morley, I'll put a Michelson Morley on here. Right, so there's Michelson Gale, there's Michelson Morley. So here it is. All right, let's go this way. So there's the Michelson Morley. If the Aether is moving this way in a vortex, it's not stationary. This arm would measure that. This one wouldn't if it's orthogonal. This one would measure that, These would be affected by it. These would not, right? So not only would Michelson Morley measure a vortexing aether, but also Michelson Gale would measure a different amount. It wouldn't measure 15 degrees per hour unless the axis of rotation was actually inside the device. That's not what they're getting. They just kind of punt on that one. They just punt on that one. It doesn't make sense. So Michelson Gale, not only does Michelson Gale measure movement in something they say doesn't move, oh, but it does move. Make up your mind. But it doesn't measure it in the way that it must have measured it if that was the case, right? So let me to go to all three planes then for an, right? Because a tri-axis optical gyroscope has 3 axes, right? So this way, the aether would be going this way for the one laying flat. Then you've got one going this way. Also, this wouldn't measure anything at all. And then the one this way would measure the aether's going, let's see, the aether's going this way. So these arms would measure, but it wouldn't measure the same quantity because you're far away. It's not going to do what they're saying it's going to do. You're not going to get the measurement that you do. So anyway, it fails on both counts. So I'm still not seeing anything from David. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have, I'm going to switch this up. We're going to do a call-in show now. And I'm going to do, I got a couple super chats to read here, and then I'm going to give you a link, and then people, you can join, and I'll do one at a time. You get about 5 minutes. We'll see how that goes. All right. C3PO Hole says Whitsitt is releasing his Highlights magazine. Whitsitt is releasing in Highlights magazine. Oh, the times I sat in the dentist's office with their Highlights magazine there. Oh my God. All right, I missed a couple. I'm gonna back up. Hold on. PhD Tony, the last stream wanted to come in and talk with Ryan, who was rather confused. I hope somebody did the the Flurf Wiki. That reminds me, people. I want to announce Flurf Wiki on the Conspiracy Tunes channel, but I want to make sure that we have some administrators or moderators in there. I don't know how to administer or admin anything on these wikis type sites like this. So if you have some experience or at least some interest in being involved in that, let me know. Send me a message on Discord would be preferred. And I can make you, we can talk about it. We can make you an admin on there. So if people, because we're going to get some people coming in there trying to modify things, and we're going to need people to lock things and to, watch for changes. Anyway, if you're interested, let me know. But I do hope that somebody does update the wiki for Ryan from Georgia. Dave Kircher says, oh yeah, there it is. Awaken in a Haze. Attacked by ninjas, or did you watch a Flurf debate? We'll never know. We've got, let's see. Why kick a moo cow about pineapple and pizza? We've got C3P hole about, it's pronounced Gary. Why bother? Poor Gary. All right, this is a good one from Eddie Reese. A Flurf haiku. Earth is a flat, I claim. The evidence is so clear. It's all CGI. There you go. Excellent haiku. They don't rhyme. I put haikus in my software, by the way, when I write code. Usually in comments. I mean, always in comments. Cretan Bull says, for 5 Canadian, there will always be questions about relativity until there's a unified theory. Relativity is incomplete, but echoing Feynman, it isn't wrong yet. And I think that's a great point, because the first person to come up with a falsification of relativity, or the here's where it's wrong, and not like when it happens, if it happens, it won't be it's all wrong. I don't think it's all wrong, and here's the complete dump truck replacement for it. it's probably going to be, we identified this aspect of it, and here's the enhancement of it. It's my guess for what it will be. Steve 6464 says, Witsit says, because things moving, this causes the ether compresses things. So didn't Witsit just admit that the Earth moves? No. And that's, here's the problem with Witsit and the majority of flat earthers is flat earthers don't like to talk about flat Earth, right? You say, well, how do flights work on flat Earth? They say, well, Effie Banjo says this about some other thing. Oh, no. Show me Qantas flight 27 from Santiago to Sydney and back, right? Show me that one on flat Earth. And they'll change the topic. They don't want to talk about flat Earth. If you say, what's the formula for bottom-up obstruction for flat Earth? They'll say, let's not talk about flat Earth. They never want to talk about flat Earth. And Witsit is the same, but it comes out differently when you've moved on from SE Montreal style, not understanding elementary school, which way is down, as SE Montreal, to the majority of flat earthers where they don't understand middle school topics, like Ryan earlier tonight. He didn't understand that you need to have something causing you to not see those things. Distant objects over the water, they get obstructed, but Zoom can unobstruct them. How does things like that, like elementaries or sort of middle school type stuff? He can't do perspective analysis, right? So then that's middle school, right? Just simple drawing a triangle and measuring the angles. You don't need to do the trig, but draw a triangle for where the sun is and measure the angles. No. He doesn't want to talk about that. It's, you don't know what the sun is. Oh, well, tell me what the sun is. Let me not tell you about what the sun is right now. Right? They run quick. All right. Ezhick says, is pineapple good on pizza? Ezhick was there. It is good on pizza. It is when the cheese is the right temperature, right? You get it. It's, center of the sun hot. So you put it in your mouth and then just like all the inside of your mouth skin falls off. That's too hot, right? You got to wait. And then it's still hot, but it's edible. And then there's this part right between too hot and congealed, right? There's this window where that cheese is perfect. And I had that. I hit that right today. Good stuff. All right. Oh, is Ryan here? Oh, check my email. He wants me to check my email. All right. You got to tag me. All right. Nothing from Dave DeHisler. Hillster. All right. He sent me. Oh, there it is. Okay. It's 4 minutes and 50 seconds. All right. I'm gonna pop it right in here. And what is this? This is, oh no, it's RV. Gross. Russian vids. How do people live like that? All right, let's see. I'll get it. I'll get it so we can look at it. We can all enjoy Russian vids. One thing about flat earthers is they never go and get the original. They don't like to get the original. They get the copy of the copy of the copy of a copy of a copy. And it's all blurred to crap. But all right. I got it. I'm prepping it. I'm putting it up on screen, getting it so we can all look at it and enjoy the derpiness that is Russian vids. All right. There it is. There it is, people. You're going to love it, Ryan. You're going to love it. All right. Okay, so he says at 5 minutes, 40 seconds. 5 minutes, 40 seconds. His voice sounds like it's old RV. All right. There it is. 5 minute 39. Unmute. There it is. Okay, here we go.
Once again, ship is completely gone, disappeared. Don't live on a so-called spinning ball, traveling at 66.
There's his mantras. Notice this. And Ryan did this, right? Rather than just address the topic, they have to sprinkle in the religious mantras. So listen to a Russian vids as he does this. This is part of cult indoctrination, and it worked very well on Ryan.
6,600 miles an hour as we're supposedly spinning at 1,100 miles an hour at the equator. Give me a break. Completely ridiculous. With this video, if you cannot see by now, we do not live on a so-called ball Earth. You're never going to get it.
All that was religious mantra that works well, intentional or unintentional, to indoctrinate people. That's what he's doing there. I don't think Russian Viz is smart enough to intentionally do it. It's just what he does.
Play this last.
Oh, 450. I went too far. 450. There it is. Hey, look, it's a buoy again. It's a buoy again.
That boat and that buoy disappear.
Right. There's a boat. Okay, we finally get a boat. That's not a ship.
Right here.
It's a little boat. Okay. All right, so we're zoomed out quite a bit, and we can still see all of the ship, but it's just tiny. It's not. Still see it. It's just tinier. Oh my gosh.
There you go.
You can still see it. It's just how much of it is obscured bottom up. Don't know. It's too small to see. It's the same crap every time. It's just too small to see. All right, I will give you. Yeah, the boat is not obstructed. It's just tiny. It's just tiny. All right. We want to look at this bigger. I'm going to zoom in on where am I? I'll zoom in on the boat. There it is. Okay. I'm going to make this I'm going to really zoom it in. All right. So there you go. There is the zoomed in version. Now, people, can you tell from that if the boat is obstructed? How much of the boat is obstructed? What percentage of the boat is obstructed? It's like 4 pixels wide, 3 pixels tall. It's just a smudge. That's useless, but definitely you can't say that it's obstructed. It doesn't tell us anything about whether it's obstructed. I don't know, if I scrub back a little bit, it'll probably move where the boat is. I'll have to fix it. All right, so there it is. Okay, zoomed in on the boat. There you go. It's partially zoomed out. Okay, you can see the same amount of the boat there. The zoom didn't change anything yet. A telescope with a greater lens diameter is needed, yes. What we're actually seeing here is the application of the Rayleigh criterion. Things are getting too small to make out the details. The angular size of those things is too small, and so you don't see the writing on the side of the boat, right? You see, and you don't see the windows. You just see a smudge because they're too small. So all of those things merge together. So Travis, a plain truth. Did a plain truth take these photos? Just a guess. I don't know who took these. He doesn't live. I don't think he lives near the ocean. He drives trucks, so he gets near the ocean a lot. So, Mandel, do you have the clip of the two tankers side by side from It Was a Slice Barcane? It was not. It was from Dazza the cameraman. I don't have that handy, but I can get it. So anyway, so here we go. We'll move. We'll go one frame at a time. How about that? There we go. One frame. So it's not getting obstructed yet. I'll have to reposition. There's that. All right, I'm advancing one frame at a time in the video. Same amount of boat visible. It's just smaller. I don't know why you thought this was a thing. Are you intentionally shooting yourself in the foot, Ryan? It's just getting smaller and very blurry and not very useful. So getting smaller and smaller, but the amount of obstruction, no, it's just a smudge now. Wow. Okay, keep watching. He says keep watching. Keep watching what? These 4 pixels? This is just 4 pixels, Ryan. Just wave that white flag, dude. All right, we're down to 3 pixels wide. Oh, look. Now it's too small to see. It didn't get obstructed, Ryan. That's not a thing. It never does. It's just too small to see. Every single time. All right. All right, well. Whatever. That's your best. Sorry, you suck. Look up Dazza the cameraman. I'm not going to do it right now. I've done it before. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put the Zoom right in the chat here. And if you want to join, you need to have your name be visible. And I'll make sure that I want to cross-reference. You can change your name when you come in. I want to cross-reference to your name on here, right? If I don't recognize you, if I do recognize you, you're fine. But I'm going to do it one at a time. Can come in, and Wisecough is here. You specifically are invited to join first, if you want. So if you want to be on screen, you can be on screen. If you don't, then that's fine. I'll show you whatever you show, including your name, will be visible. So whatever you want for your name, make sure it's what you want. So let me get changing this. I'm setting the stage for this. So there you go. There's this. All right. I set a there's a waiting room so I can see it. So all right. Wait. Can't one call in on a normal phone? No, I don't have a phone type thing. Oh my gosh. Gary, you get 5 minutes. Gary Wabenga. And there's gonna be no math. There's gonna be no math. All right. Here's Gary. Are we gonna see you, Gary? We're gonna see you? No, I don't know. All right, I'll let Gary in. All right, I'm gonna set the timer right here, right there. As soon as he starts talking. So Gary's here. Welcome, Gary. He only gets 5 minutes. We've got all right. We got another. I don't know who you are, so got a couple. Got 2 in there now. I don't see Wisecough. All right, Gary. You got 5 minutes.
Oh, can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure I was even on yet. I walked outside in the meantime. Okay, to your boat, the one that becomes unresolvable, bottom first. You go back earlier in that same video that you were looking on. Believe it's a little past 3 minutes, and you'll see another one with the shift that you can fully see the bottom and the colors. And it's a red portion at the bottom, just like in the video I made. Whereas you zoom out, you see the bottom becomes unresolvable before the entire top. And that is simply when you move past the limits of the Rayleigh criterion, the angles, the whole thing compresses, and the bottom compresses before the top because it's the closest thing to the surface, which is
These ships going.
the ground is the bottom of your field of view. It's the surface is the entire bottom of your field of view. So everything that moves is going to become, the smallest angle will be at the bottom of the things because the bottoms are closest to the surface. Boats become unresolvable bottom first. They don't become obstructed. You had to zoom in on that picture. You had to actually take your screen and zoom in on the screen to see anything because it was past the limits of your vision.
That's not how it works, Gary. But
that is how it works. You couldn't see that without doing it.
Yeah, I
without
do look forward
doing that,
to
you zoomed
the
in.
empirical evidence and the
well, you
plausible
couldn't see the
mechanism for
ship.
that.
You couldn't see the ship before it zoomed in either. Just like in my video that you put on your show one day, you couldn't see the ship once you zoomed out. It was as far as you're concerned, it was might as well have disappeared over a curve because there was nothing you could see with your natural eye, even though it was there. And when you zoomed in, it was fully visible. Go in that video that you played a minute ago and go. I think it's around 3:30. I can't remember exactly where. And you will see one that's completely zoomed in on. You can see the red portion at the bottom of the ship, and watch when he backs off the zoom there. The red portion will become completely unresolvable while you can still see the top of the ship, which is bottom first. Oh, it is. It's play the video. And I've got several videos doing the same exact thing.
Yeah, and all right, and what's the explanation in physics for why that's happening, Gary?
It's because the angles are too compressed for your eyes to see that part, and because it's the part closest to the surface. The surface is where your angles become too narrow the quickest, which is why you see a horizon. So when your angles over the waves become too narrow to see waves in the background, it's separate from the foreground, so it appears as a line. So the next thing higher up than the wave is what? The bottom of the ship. That's the next thing that gets too far, moves in past that limit at the center of your field of view, moving away from you when you're looking towards the horizon. And it simply is going to become unresolvable bottom first. It's the same reason you see tires on the cars moving away from you on a highway or something. The first thing you can't see on the entire car is the tires, because that space between the bumper and the road will become too narrow to see the tires anymore, while you can still see the top of the car.
That wasn't the plausible mechanism. It didn't explain
that is
why,
the plausible mechanism
is not, the why the light doesn't get to your eye.
There's not enough room and there's not enough space. The angle is too narrow.
It doesn't explain, and the narrowness of an angle doesn't explain why something would be would not get to your eyeball.
You saw the ship. Have you ever watched an airplane fly away from you? It will become unresolvable where you can't even see it. Where's the light from that?
It's getting there. It's just mixed with everything else.
If you can't resolve it, it might as well not be there. If you can't resolve it, and that's bottom first obstruction. Not be there. Bottom first obstruction doesn't happen on boats going away. They become unresolvable because of the angles. They're visual angles. It's all optical.
Resolvable isn't invisible. Resolvable is lack of detail. That's what it's talking about.
No, unresolvable. If you cannot see something and it's unresolvable, you can't see it at all. Like an airplane flying high in the sky away from you, it'll literally disappear where you can't see it anymore in the sky.
The cells in my hands are too small. I can't resolve them.
It doesn't. You can't see your cells, and you can't see the plane in the sky.
I can see my hand
when it flies away.
How can I see my
plane in the sky when it flies away, McToon?
But Gary,
when it flies away and gets too far, you can't see it. Is there not light reflecting from that?
How can I see my hand if the cells are too small to be resolvable? The angles are too small.
What's that got to do with what I'm talking about? Nothing. You can't see the cells in your hand, can you?
You say if it's unresolvable, you can't see it.
No, I said a plane can fly away from you and become unresolvable where you can't see it.
All right, Gary, 5 minutes. Thank you.
Even though there's still an angle, right? There's still an angle,
All right.
but you can't see it.
Thank you, Gary. 5 minutes is up.
So unresolvable means you can't see it.
All right, Gary.
Okay, well, I'm right, and you know I'm right.
I know you're wrong. All right.
No, I'm not.
We've got all right, bye Gary. We've got all right. If your name is on here, your name is going to be on here. And I do like it if you're going to be on camera. It makes for a little better show. So, all right. All right, we've got Bill coming in. Gary, you can see yourself out. Thank you for stopping by. There you go. All right, Bill is here. Welcome, Bill. Let's see. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get the live chat up because I think most of these people aren't visible so far. I get it. People want to call in instead of video chat in, but if you do want to video chat in, it is a little better for the crowd. All right. Are you oh, there we go. Bill's name changed. All right. Welcome. Not Bill.
No, I'm not Bill.
All right. This one's name is Judy. And Judy's got this. How you doing, Judy?
I'm doing okay. I thought apparently, hold on one sec. But I don't have my tech down because I betcha I got my YouTube on in the background.
Yes, I do.
Oh, I am such a boomer.
Hey, at least you understand your position.
I am such a boomer.
You said it twice now. All right, you got it yet? I don't hear it now.
Am I going to laugh twice?
Yeah, I don't hear the it coming back. So.
Am I going to laugh twice?
Oh, I heard it again.
Oh,
goodness.
All right. Hold on. All right. Tell you what. Because I am such a boomer. All right. Hold on. All right. Tell you what. I'm going to end this. I'm going to come in differently.
All right. Well, I'll give you 5 minutes and then let's see.
I'm going to end this. I'm going to come in differently.
We've got Timbo Turtle coming in. And turtle is spelled without a P at the beginning. I don't know what's wrong with you, Timbo, that you don't have that. But welcome, Timbo. Oh, it's joining still. So get yourself ready. And all right, here comes Timbo. Oh, there it is. We've got something to see here. It's a turtle. Welcome, Timbo. Can you hear me? If you're talking, I cannot hear you. Jeebus thinks that Judy is a flirt. How difficult is it to just mute? Is a good question for Judy. I think Lael says for $5 a zoom on a camera are optical. Why can we trust cameras? Yeah, Gary, it doesn't make sense. All right, Timbo, you still
Can you hear me at all?
There,
Should
yes.
be able to, I hope.
I can, yes.
Oh, great. Glad to hear it. Oh, I got to mention from last time I was on, I got in big trouble with the guys over at Aussie Perspective for not shouting out to them last time I was on, for the few minutes I was on.
All right, well, go ahead and give all of the shout outs.
I just did. I just did. That'll be enough. They're on tonight. They'll hear it. They'll see it.
All right. Excellent. Well, welcome, Timbo Turtle without a P.
Yeah, well, I'm not a cat, so.
Yeah. So. All right. What did you want to talk about? I'm trying to get this. I'm a little distracted. So.
Okay. I can see that. That's okay. It's my last time you might have remembered I had a green turtle. Now I've got a new turtle. We're on to just looking at all the silliness that we get on with the flurfers around the world, but mostly the latest one is this consistent thing about not understanding Australia's a real place. I'd still like to get you to come down to Oz and drive across from Sydney to Perth. think it's a better trip than that Sydney to Santiago flight.
Oh my gosh, drive from Sydney to Perth?
Yeah.
How many years
This is
does that take?
This is well, if you don't make a stop, it's probably maybe 2 days, 3 days.
Oh my gosh, so long, right? So you want somebody to do that other than you, to make sure that it's the actual, not
Well,
not the flurf with.
Well, to me, it's like, first of all, it's not going to cost you whatever $1,000 the other flight's going to cost.
That's true, but I still have to get there. Getting
yeah,
there is expensive.
But at least you could do things along the way.
That's true.
You could stop in at Adelaide.
What is, hold on,
you could go to Wimmera.
What is between Sydney and Perth, really? It's just dirt.
Well, first lot, there's a lot of, in New South Wales, there's a little bit of stuff in New South Wales.
Okay.
Then you probably get down to Adelaide. Adelaide to Perth is probably going to be the most boring bit. Although you do get to go across the Great Australian Bight and get to see the really nice cliffs and stuffs down the bottom there. So that's a pretty nice trip. Bit of good scenery down that way. Definitely an experience.
Yeah. We could stop by Scotty. What's Scotty? Scotty, you know who I'm talking about? The Australian flurf that doesn't like to wear a shirt.
No, that one off the top. But yeah, there's a few flurfs you could probably would love to come and see you, I'm sure.
So Scott, he's been a little quiet lately. He wants to come on, but he can't actually keep a schedule.
Right.
Scotty Storm. That's right. Thanks, Frank.
Storm. Yeah. Now you said Storm. Yeah.
On, but he lives somewhere west of Sydney in a house. His parents died and he got some money. He doesn't have to work. He doesn't have landline network there, so he uses satellite internet. Flat Earther uses satellite internet.
It's satellite internet. Yes, must be attached to those balloons.
The irony, he didn't. Yeah.
No. That's right. Yeah, if you're a lot of the middle of Australia is done by satellite because we're not run cables to pick up some one person in the middle of 500 mile k's from anywhere.
Yeah, that's.
But you could meet Mitchell from Australia. I'm sure he'd love to meet you over in Sydney there. And
no need.
Nah.
No
yeah,
need.
true.
I don't think I'd. There's some that I would want to meet, but Mitchell's not on that list.
You can meet a few of us Globers over here.
Yeah,
you know, I think Professor Bell would come. A few others.
Wally, if anybody knows where he is.
Wally, yeah. Where's Wally?
I don't think anybody knows where he is. It's always asking. You got
no.
Hugh.
Well, I always find him when he goes a video though.
What's that? You find him when he does a video? There's Hugh.
I always find Wally when Hugh
Jars.
Hugh Jars, yes.
And let's see, Frank wants to come in. He's also from Australia, right? You got Aussie Baller lives down in Melbourne, who helped me with that one back in January. That guy that said he was all the way across the bay, but he wasn't.
Yeah, he wasn't. No.
I forgot his name. Dan.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was silly. He picture of Melbourne. He was halfway to Melbourne rather than being. Yeah.
He was just hardly. He was just down around the corner, and he's like, "I'm standing on the opposite side." Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, you're not. You did take a photo from there, but that's not the one you're using. Yes,
and there was GPS in the photo. I had him.
And what was the guy? The Sydney guy.
The Sydney guy.
The Sydney guy
that couldn't understand.
I can't remember his name off the top of my head. That was going to come back but it was going to come back around now and show you that the sun doesn't set south of.
Yeah, that's Tony Nayum. Who that's
the one. Yeah,
back in like disappeared. July or August, showed up again on Facebook. He has a different account on Facebook that he uses, and on that account he he's he's trying to talk smack, but I don't think he'll come back in December ever. Like he like
No.
hides for 6 months.
Yeah, I can tell you it's already starting to southwest.
Yeah. Well, we're only a month out. All right, there's our 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's right. 5 minutes up. Bring another Aussie in.
Bring another
We might
Aussie.
even win a soccer match.
Well,
We might even win a soccer match.
Yeah. Well, so let's see, the Aussie that sent me this picture right here. He said he wants to come in, so this is a little early for him. He didn't know I was going to be this early. So Frank Burns, get yourself in here. But Timbo, thank you for joining.
Good turn. Great turn. Sorry about Legacy. It's not a good film, but you'll live.
All right, we're gonna try to get Judy back. We'll see if Judy can get herself. Oh yeah, Santos. Oh, we forgot about Santos. Oh, but he's not in Australia anymore. He can't go back. Santos cannot go back to Australia because he has $150,000 in driving fines. Yes, that's a thing. $150,000 of driving fines he has. So I think this is Judy coming back now. Gonna have to get your stuff together, Judy. Yeah, so I've been, in the meantime, I've been doing this research on the video for Santos, and I have so many clips of him and just these things that he contradicts himself about. He hates pharmaceuticals, but takes them a lot. Takes them a lot. All right, Judy, are you Judy? Judy, you could do this. Maybe is that too much optimism? So yeah, so Santos is so angry, and it's not just me. It's not FTFE. It's I've looked for other stuff, and this is what he does all the time. If anybody ever disagrees with him, he goes off on them, and every time he says they're going to hell. And almost every time he says that they're going to experience a debilitating injury. And I got a screenshot of him saying that to me, but he edited it later.
Does he want to be on screen?
All right, I hear Judy now.
I don't know nothing about you.
Judy, do you know that we can hear you?
No way.
We can hear you, Judy.
How many of you do you hear?
Just one.
Let's wait 2 minutes. Let's see if we get a rebound.
2 minutes?
That's what it seemed like before.
Gosh. All right, Judy, you can do this.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah,
did I figure it out?
You did. All right, here we go. What's up, Judy? How you doing?
Well, I was trying to be a palate cleanser after Wybenga, but I didn't do that well, apparently.
You kind of fluffed it up a little bit.
Look, oh, hey, I could even do that. Could I do that?
You can. I'll change it. So I turned off the... There we go. There it is. Now people see you.
Where?
On YouTube.
No way.
Yes.
So how was your Thanksgiving?
It was good. We hosted, and we moved the kitchen table into the other room, and we set up a long table. We had the whole thing long because when you do the kid table, right? I'm like, I have dibs on being at the kids table, and my wife is like, don't even talk to me about it.
That's the best place.
I know. Anyway, so we made the entire table the kid table. So, yeah. Let's see. Extra J wants you to know that Quantum Degreaser is legit. He's too legit to quit. If you got to know about that.
Too legit.
Don't try.
To I'm gonna sprain
Don't
something.
try.
I am too.
Douglas Jenkins loves the kids' table. They get dessert first. Yes.
We got dessert only. I don't know what kind of place you. I mean, every place has its different traditions.
It's dessert and the buns. Just one or two buns. Put a whole load of butter on it, and that's it.
Sugar and carbs, which break down into sugar. So there you go.
There you go.
That works. Maybe a nice, glass of wine to put the kids to bed afterwards. So there you go.
Were the tables leveled? No, they were not. One was on hardwood, one was on carpet. They're different heights. But it worked. We didn't spill much.
You guess what my Thanksgiving was like?
You tell me.
My poor husband that I was just, trying to kibitz with, behind the scenes very subtly, because I'm a very subtle person. I was saying, that my daughter got sick, I got sick. So he heated up the food on the Costco tray that we got and brought it to our sick beds. That was our Thanksgiving.
You couldn't even do Thanksgiving because of sickness.
And my cough is much, much better, but it is not a pretty cough. It's not cute. I can't hide it. I'm coughing up a lung, possibly puking. It's not pretty.
You know what the solution is? Lots and lots of Toonshine.
Cheers.
I might have over here. The guy I work with was they were going to host, and his family got it. So out.
Well, it wasn't even COVID. It's just, see, I live in Arizona, and now growing up in the upper Midwest, the freezes there have a wonderful effect. It kills all the schmutz that flies around from person to person. And in Arizona, when it's nice and warm, we have what's called the upper respiratory crud that goes from one person, changes to another variant and moves through the whole house again. So we just have the upper respiratory crud from like about now till spring. But the weather's great, so there's that.
There is that, I suppose.
Yes.
My dad, he likes it down there in the summer even.
Well, see, with my arthritis, I love the heat. I mean, I've had all these wonderful, I don't know if you guys can see, but I have lots of nice scars from all the surgeries that I've had.
Nice.
So my joints love the heat. Schmutz is a very technical term, I must say, just so you know.
It's Yiddish.
There are amazing Yiddish words that, even though I am not Jewish in the least, they are so wonderfully descriptive. I have incorporated them into my language.
Yeah, if you're going to carry something, you schlep it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Don't get involved in the Michigas. Just I probably pronounced that one wrong now that I'm hearing it, but that's okay.
Meshuggah?
It's still a good word. Michigas. 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 Michigas? Yes.
So, Lord, it's probing time. Holy crap, you're tireless if you're doing another one after this. No. This one is replacing the one after this. I'm going to swap in the thumbnail. Actually, I might make this one auto hiding.
Auto what?
Well, so on YouTube, if you put out a video, it will promote the most recent video. So do I want this video to be the one that it pushes out to all of my subscribers, or the previous one to put out to all my subscribers? I think the previous one. So I'll auto hide this one, and then I'll unhide it tomorrow. So
now I'm hurt.
No, it has nothing to do with you. It's all about Ryan.
Sure.
And the derp that he brought. It was some good stuff. Some really good stuff. Quality, Ryan, I gotta say, it was good, refreshing derp. So anyway, I'll change this. Be all right to do. do that. And I don't know what happened to David DeHisler, but you're over the 5. You're over the 5. So it's
Ron
go
is
to
next.
Rob.
Is that what I saw?
Rob Parks is on the way in.
Rob, enjoy.
All right. Well, thank you, Judy. He's on the way in.
I got rid of the derp. I got rid of the boom. I
hear it now. It's echoing now.
That's Rob. That's not me.
That would be me.
Oh, it is. Okay. All right. Well, Rob.
Hi, Rob. Bye, Rob.
Sorry.
Hi, Judy. Bye, Judy.
All right. Ooh, Rob has a classy sweater, something I could never do. I don't do sweaters. Oh.
I actually missed your stream with Ryan because I was hosting the curator of the Apollo collection at the Smithsonian for our public night at the observatory tonight.
I saw that announcement. I'm like, that is cool.
It was a fantastic talk, and I'll be posting it on our observatory YouTube channel, and I will be cutting out just the talk itself and posting it on my channel as well.
That's good.
So yeah.
So tell me about it. Give us a little hint so that we can all come and watch it later. No spoilers. Just give us the good stuff.
Okay. Well, before I do that, one main reason why I wanted to come on, because first time caller, long time listener, is I don't debate. I really don't debate flat Earth or whatever. That's not my thing. But I'm going to make an exception. I'm going to challenge Gary Wybanga to a debate on telescopes and optics. For too long, he has made the same claims over and over again. And as an astronomer, it's bugging me. The Rayleigh criterion does not work that way. An equatorial telescope or an equatorial mount does not prove a flat Earth. It actually proves a globe. And I can show you, I can actually live stream from my telescope, and we can watch it track from, say, 20 degrees down in the horizon. So I can literally show you that you're wrong, Gary. So I am laying down the gauntlet. Any channel you want, I'd prefer McDoon's, but yeah. But anyway, with the talk, probably my favorite part of the talk was she talking about Buzz Aldrin, and Buzz Aldrin had to, because of the way the lander landed, the ladder didn't quite make it down to the ground. And so they all, both Armstrong and Aldrin had to jump off. Well, when Aldrin jumped off, apparently his pee bag broke. So he apparently likes to say that while Armstrong was the first man on the moon, Aldrin was the first man to urinate on the moon. And actually, as it happened, because he broke his pee bag, as it were, it all went into his boot. So
yeah, because it can't go out. It can't leave your suit. It's sealed. Oh, I've heard that before, and that's the.
I hadn't heard that before, so that was fun for me.
That's lovely.
Yeah, and the other thing that I actually kind of found surprising was, so at some point, Jeff Bezos, of all people, found the I guess the thrust cones, or the might be the entire engines for the lower stage of the Saturn V rocket that took us to the moon, the Apollo 11. So he apparently funded an expedition to dig them out of, or dredge them out of the Atlantic, and now they are on display at the Smithsonian. They're in space.
I see.
So yeah.
So he actually went to have them pulled out of the ocean.
Yeah, because the first stage of all the Saturns just fell into the Atlantic Ocean.
Oh, that's crazy. So what, like 45, 50 years later?
Yep.
Wow. Are they, what kind of shape? They have to be a little bit
they're banged up. They are banged up. And you can see not only obviously they're going to have some degradation due to the fact that they were sitting on an ocean floor for 40 years.
Yeah.
But you can also see that they are compacted. They definitely, when they hit, they hit hard.
Yeah, because they didn't parachute. They didn't do anything at all. It was just
ballistic. Yep. So, it was
would be cool.
All
right, what channel is that?
I'm looking forward to So it's going to be on the GMU Observatory YouTube channel, and it's
Okay.
going to be on my channel, which is Professor Parks PhD.
Okay. If you can send me them, I'll put them in the description of this so people can find them.
Sure, I can do that.
Yeah. Awesome. That's yeah, I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah, it was a great talk, well attended. Yeah, she actually wrote a book which I just read, which called Operation Moonglow, and it's based on her interest is primarily political, and so the book actually talks about the political motivations of the Apollo program, and it reinforced the idea that I suspected that really we did the Apollo program to just thumb our noses at the Soviets. It wasn't exactly going to the moon, that was great, but it was more of, hey, look at us, we're awesome. The Soviets, not so much. So
Absolutely, there's a lot to that.
yeah, it's a fantastic work.
Wow, that's
So,
cool. Love
yeah.
that. Thanks for coming to share that, and I look forward to watching that video.
Yeah.
So all right, we're at 5 minutes.
Okay, and Gary, I mean it. Debate.
So now Gary Wenbenga says if cousin Gary won't debate him on your channel, I will. So I don't know if you want to debate Gary Wenbenga or if you prefer Gary Wybenga. I'm sure maybe Gary Wenbenga might also be interested. Or Gary Howbenga. He's a little more derpy. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Well, thank you, Rob. That was awesome. Good information.
Thank you for having me on.
To that. So we've got Matt coming in now.
Peace out.
Hey guys,
Matt. Hello.
How's it going?
Good.
Good. Let's mute your stream. Great.
Good idea.
Not gonna pull a Judy on you.
Pull a Judy. We just coined a term there, Judy.
Sorry, Judy. Cool.
Sorry, Judy. There's Gary. What about a Benga? So what's up, Matt?
Not much. Enjoyed the stream earlier. It was nice for somebody who didn't just kind of wits it on for 45 minutes. It was refreshing.
Right. It was refreshing.
We went back to, more basic flat earth debate. Just, can I see thing far? Yes. Why? I don't know. Camera zoom in. Ooh.
It's because there's moisture in the air. Liquid water.
Oh, it's reminiscent of Flatzoid on one of his live streams. He was talking about the whole perspective causes things to disappear bottom up. And he goes, oh, there's all these things out there like waves and mountains and dust and wind. I'm like, wind? You think wind blocks? Okay. He can have that.
Wind can affect things, right? So it'll mix
wind
things
makes
up.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Wind disappears stuff bottom up.
Somehow that's amazing.
Flatzoid, yeah.
Just anything Flatzoid can find.
Yeah, he's fun. So
I
cool.
I see a guitar with more strings than 6.
Yeah.
Is that right?
You do. This baby's got 7 on it. That's a low B. It's tuned down to an A right now. So
nice.
We have fun. I play metal most of the time, so I finally.
Is there anything else?
I don't know.
There's punk.
Okay.
You can do punk, but
so I've been playing guitar for 15 or 16 years. I play only metal, but I am the bassist for a folk rock band. I don't listen to folk. I don't really enjoy folk, but we sound really good, so I'm just in it.
Is folk rock bass kind of easy?
It can be, but I try to make it more fun. So I make it difficult where I can and where it sounds good.
All right, nice.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Judy sees a telescope in the back, but I don't know. I like metal. My kid, hold on. We got to go metal. My kid sends me a text message yesterday morning. Dad, Metallica's playing US Bank Stadium 2024. Do you want to go? I'm like,
Ooh,
Oh, son. My son.
that's
I
a good
love you,
text
my
to receive.
son. Like, yes, I want to go. Because I've
My
been
kid,
asking him, do you want to go to Megadeth? For years. He's like,
ooh,
I don't know, when I'm 18. When I'm 21. It's always been that. But he's all these thresholds he's met. But now he
yeah.
wants to see Metallica. Okay, that's good.
I mean, as a father, could you ask for more?
Few things could touch the heart more. So
I have a 15-month-old, and
just
anytime I throw on metal, he's just sitting in his high chair. He's
there you
rocking
go.
out. I'm
That's
like,
start
yes,
him young.
I'm doing something right, you know?
Ragebot says I need to drag his butt to Megadeth. When Megadeth came through last year, a bit over a year ago, I actually went alone. I bought a ticket for Punchy, and Punchy couldn't even make it, so I sold it. It was just me. Like, oh, man. But they still rocked.
Yeah, I'm going to a metal concert in next March, see August Burns Red, and I'm going by myself. I asked my wife if she wanted to come, and she said she would be fine watching the kid that night. I'm like, all right.
All right. Now, I like August Burns Red enough, but I wouldn't call them metal. Anyway, I've seen them a few times.
They're metal core.
Yeah. You put core on the end of something, it's not the same, but that's fine.
Yeah. There's a great, I think it's like a 12-part YouTube series, 30-minute videos breaking down every subgenre of metal.
Oh,
The guy knows his stuff, but it's really tedious to get through.
that's a lot. Hey,
It's a lot.
Frank Burns, get in here. All right.
He's in the chat.
He is now. So
Nice.
I might have. Oh, there it is.
Get him in.
There's our 5 minutes. All right, tell us quick about the telescope.
Yeah, it's just a Celestron. I don't even know the model. I've always been really interested in space, and I wanted to look at things closer. And I bought it, and I've used it a couple of times. I don't know what I'm doing yet, but I'm trying to figure it out. And the moon looked really cool the other night through it, so that's all I got.
That's better than Flurfs do. Yes.
It absolutely is.
They think the P900 is the best telescope ever.
Anytime they point it at a star and it just gets all fuzzy and out of focus, and
that's not how it's done.
It's so good.
All right.
Classic. Great.
Well, thanks
Thank
for
you, Mike.
stopping in. We got Jara coming next. So thank you, Matt.
You're welcome. See ya.
Do I like Norma Jean? I'm not a big Norma Jean fan. Actually, I'm not big into that. August Burns Red I like okay. Zayo, I like some Zayo. So all right, we've got that person went away. All right, well, here comes Les. We got Les, and then Frank is up after that. I received a package today, and I was hoping the person that sent it might have a chance to stop in. Otherwise, I'll open it in a bit. But welcome, we've got Les coming in right here. Can you hear me yet? I see your microphone is activated.
Yeah, do you hear me?
Yes, I do. Welcome, Les. How do I don't want to say your last name wrong, or you don't need to say it if you don't want to say it at all. But
it's Santa Claus.
All right. I'll go with Santa Claus.
Oh, it's Roar. Just like a lion.
Roar. Okay. There you go. Les Roar. Stan Trucker. Stan Trucker is driving. Well, Stan Trucker, can you? All right. Well, if you can, Stan Trucker. Just a second, Les. I haven't started the timer.
Sure.
Stan Trucker sent me this package. If you want, I'll open it on stream. If you want to be here, you can do it. Otherwise, just let me know. Okay. Les, what's going on?
Oh man, I listen. I so identify with Judy wasn't her name. Lousy Thanksgiving. I was sick as a dog. Still am, but I'm better. I'm better. Unfortunately for the world, I'm going to live.
Well,
Hey, Mike.
I hope you're better by Christmas so you can deliver all the presents.
Oh God, yes, I know. I've got to hire a junior Santa. I have a really nice display that I love, and I'll send you a link later. Maybe you might like it. But I I gotta say, man, flat 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 tards. I mean, it's one thing being wrong, and it's one thing being convinced you're wrong, but how do they get these totally unreal notions? I mean, they're not even they're not even kind of sort of reasonable. It's just bizarre, and then they can't figure it out. And I mean, I understand. Okay, I mean, I'm a physicist, or I was a physicist, and I was an engineer for 37 years. So for me, this stuff is just freaking obvious.
Yeah, it's if you do it all the time, it's easy. So how is it that they don't do it much, but that they still get so wrong?
Yeah, and so wrong. And it, it's like Whitsitt, I mean, the thing really well, a lot of things that Whitsitt doesn't get, obviously, but I think the main thing that he really doesn't get that Einstein was saying in his point was that you can measure, relative motion all day long. It's not that you can't measure that the Earth is moving relative to the sun, but you can't say that it's not the sun moving relative to the Earth. There's no measurement that you can make that says which one's moving. And in fact, the question itself is meaningless.
Yeah, and it's not just Einstein relativity; it's
right.
Galilean relativity too.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'd like one day to explain to them. I mean, if you don't mind my taking 2 minutes here.
Yeah.
Say there are 3 observers, okay? We'll call them 1, 2, and 3. Real complicated names. 1, 2, and 3, and we can hear them talking on the radios, and they're who knows? They're they got a few 100,000 miles apart. And one's kind of in the middle, and 2's in the middle, 1's on one side and 3's on the other. And 2 says, "Hey, you guys, why don't y'all come over and we'll jam for a bit." And I says, "Sure, but you're already headed towards me." And he says, "No, I'm not." 2 says, "I'm stationary. Listen, I'm making all sorts of measurements. You're moving, you're coming towards me. Oh, and by the way, 3's coming towards me too, but I'm not moving." 1 says, "Well, no, you're right. 3's headed my way." The fact is, there's no way you can say that one of them is moving, one of them isn't moving. It's that simple. Once you understand that, the rest of it is math. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cuss. That's a flirt cuss word, isn't it?
It is.
I know. I love physics. I especially love relativity. It's not weird. Come on, Mike. It's not weird. It's wonderful. It's beautiful.
Relativity?
Relativity isn't weird. It's strange and wonderful. But it's not weird. Quantum mechanics is weird.
Yeah, right. I think that's fair.
Yeah, it's fair. Quantum. Oh God, every time all I have to do is, kind of sniff of quantum mechanics. I go, face palm. That's Oh my God, I just hate it. I had to work really hard at it because of that, and that's the thing. When you're not good at something, you don't throw up your hands and say, "I can't do it." You work harder. Right?
Yes.
That's what I do.
Well, and I got to give Whitsitt this. He kind of works hard and still doesn't understand it.
And because he's off on the fundamental. He's off on the very first wrong foot. And if you're supposed to be heading east and you go west, well, on the globe, you'll eventually make it, but it's going to take a hell of a long time, so. Anyway, I'd love to be on your debates, some of your debates with you and or FTFE. I'd love to whack a few flat tards. Yeah, whack a flurf. Let's say whack a flurf, yeah.
The challenge is finding them, and it's a little difficult to find a flurf to debate on behalf of somebody else. So
Want me to pretend to be a flurf? I'll pretend to be a
no,
flurf.
no, no. The point is,
I'm stupid. Oh,
if you want to debate a flurf, you
yeah,
kind of gotta go find them and
I
say
know.
who. Then like find somebody to agree to debate you, and then look for a place to host it. So
Yeah.
that's what I recommend to people because they get a lot of people on the Globe side saying, "Hey, I would volunteer to debate a flurf." I'm like, you gotta go find it. It's a BYOF.
Well, and honestly, sometimes I'm shouting at the screen. It's like, no, Mike, no. Tell him this. Tell him this. Tell him this.
I get it because when I say the same thing when somebody's debating them. All
Yeah.
right, that's 5 minutes. I need to.
All
I'm
right.
gonna move on here. I got Frank Burns, but thank you very much, Les. It's been good talking to you.
Yeah,
And
you too.
good luck delivering all the presents.
Yeah. Oh.
All right, Frank is on the way in. All the way from Australia. He's joining from there. All right, looks like he's made it, and the audio is still connecting. LS, I'll let you disconnect as you.
Okay, I've not done this before. How do you disconnect?
Bottom right, there should be a red end, or exit, or leave, I think, button. If you're on a computer.
Well, yes, I am.
Yeah.
Let's go. But
and I can kick you out, but I feel bad.
Yeah, why don't you kick? No, why don't you? No, go ahead and kick me because I'm just not seeing it.
All right, I'll do that.
I'm old and slow, and yeah.
All right,
so
there it is. All right, we'll see you later, Les.
Mm-hmm. Bye.
Oh, it doesn't. There we go. All right. And Frank, are you working on? Are you getting it going? I hear you. I hear.
Can you hear me?
I do.
Hello, Michael.
Hello, Frank. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, Michael. I just thought I'd call in to say goodbye before my major surgery next Thursday.
It sounds so fatal. It's.
I'm glad it's funny.
I hope it's not fatal. Like, say goodbye. I don't know if you need.
From what I understand, the odds are not good.
The odds are not good. Oh, well,
No.
that is sad. People, in case you don't know, this here, this is the Gemini rocket that Frank sent me. So I do appreciate that. Man, that is heavy news.
Something
That
to remember me
might
by,
not be
Michael.
good.
No, from what I understand from Google and my own research, it's not good.
Well, I hope that that it goes well. Do you want to? I mean, do you want to say anything? You want to about what it is, or give it background on that, or not? I don't. Whatever you're comfortable
It's
with.
a circumcision.
It's a what?
Circumcision, Michael.
Those aren't typically fatal.
To me, most of the mass lies in the foreskin. So to me, it'll be devastating.
Okay. Do you think you'll make it?
I hope not.
You hope not. Okay.
I think most of your chat and I know that the Discord also are hoping that I don't.
I don't think so. A little off the top.
Also, I'll be posting if I do make it, which I won't. Post-operative healing progress pictures in the Mallory's Asylum Discord. So if you want to link to that below, or if someone post a link in the.
That's a hard pass.
Interesting.
Speaking of Mallory, you know who's next week?
Who?
Mallory and Bryant Myers, and I've instructed Bryant Myers that he's not allowed to watch any Mallory videos.
Oh, Jesus Christ! I really do hope I don't make it then. Oh, and another thing, Michael. the debate last week when I complimented your skin and you said that was creepy. I thought that was it said more about you than say it said about me by complimenting your skin. I don't know. Obviously compliments from other men upset you. That's fine. I just want your fan base to be aware that they can glean from that what they wish. But your skin is pearlescent, flawless.
The thing is, I've never heard that those adjectives used to describe this in the past.
I feel like you were taking it out on me. I thought it was a compliment, and maybe you were a bit scared by that and made me feel bad for giving you the compliment.
I didn't. Sometimes I don't know where your sarcasm begins and where it ends. But Hellboy thinks is all sarcasm. So
the surgery is real. The risk is real.
Yeah. Ashton Richards describes my complexion as ghostly.
A man that hasn't ventured into the sun any more than he needs to.
I live in Minnesota. Half the year the sun is hiding. When I'm working, it's up, and when I'm not working, it's not. So, Jeebus.
Somebody said my 5 minutes is up.
We're at 12 minutes. Oh, I hear the chirping in the background. Here, is that a bird?
That's a bird.
Right.
It's a lovebird, Michael.
All right.
So I hope you enjoyed the picture, and I hope everyone comes to the Asylum Discord where I am currently banned. But I hope that is rectified in the future, so I can upload the post-operative pictures. And I hope you join in there as well too.
Just to see the pictures.
This
No, I don't know if Discord rules allow that. But too funny. All right, well, Frank, it's been 5 minutes. We've got King Crew coming up. So I'm gonna let him in.
You're cutting me off.
What's that?
You're cutting me off. This 5 minute. I've never heard this 5 minute time frame.
Yeah,
I thought this was a free to speak. You dare to cut me off?
Frank, it's 5 minutes for everybody.
The picture in the background, Michael. The value of that, and I get to speak to you for 5 minutes. So I have to send another autograph for another 5 minutes. Is this?
No. You can call in the next call-in show. You can call in if it's provided that you survive.
I'll be dead by then, Michael.
You provide.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I'm gonna let King Crew in. Frank, thank you very much for joining. I do hope the surgery goes well, and I hope the pictures
Goodbye, everyone.
Not posted. All right, we'll see ya. All right, we've got King Crew on the way in. And will you be on camera, King Crew? And I did see some flurfers in there. Flurfs are invited. I put the link in again. So have a regular phone sorted out for next time, would you? Ashton Richards says. I have a Skype number. But it's a UK Skype number, which doesn't do much good at this time of day. So, are you going to be on camera there?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, here we go. Now people can see you. You have less hair than the last time I saw you.
I know, right?
Well, no, it moved south.
It
was
did.
up here,
it did.
And now it migrated.
Yeah, it's because of the Earth flat and all that good stuff.
It's migratory.
But I have to admit, seeing you in person, your skin is fantastic, though.
Oh my gosh.
With no makeup and none of light stuff, is fantastic.
Yeah, because you only see me now after NASA hair and makeup have done their magic.
Exactly. Oh man. But now I just want to come in and say, Lake Titicaca, and
the Titicaca
it's been a while. And I'm glad you're doing well.
Yeah.
And the family's all good.
Is it?
When's the next time you're coming to Miami?
I don't have plans, but we will be in Florida in February.
Oh, nice. Maybe I can meet you halfway.
Pensacola is the area. So.
Oh, that's far.
No, that's about as far as you can get from Miami.
That's pretty far.
I think we could go. We can't go much farther north, and you certainly can't go any farther west and still be in Florida. But you could start in Key West, and then that would be the most extreme possible. So
this is true. Key West is pretty far south.
Have you been there?
Yeah. I vacate there.
Okay.
Been to Key Largo, Key West. I haven't been to Cuba, but I've been to the Bahamas.
Okay.
Done all that good stuff. Yeah. I've done a lot of traveling in my time. Lots of traveling.
I've been to Key West once.
Okay.
I had a work trip to Miami, to the University of Miami there. I think it's the university. It was a university.
Yeah.
Is it University of Miami?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the big one.
Yeah,
there.
It's University of Miami. Yeah.
Yes, and then for the weekend, drove down to Key West with my wife. Came work. My boss is like, go to Key West for the weekend. Your wife, okay, yeah, that's an easy decision. So,
all right. So when are you gonna start your 48-hour stream?
Oh my gosh, a 48-hour stream.
48 hours.
I thought about doing even a 24-hour. Do something that I could do myself.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to have to fill in with other people, right? But so maybe 10 hours.
Okay.
I don't know. So
push it to the limits, my friend.
Push it to the limit.
To the limit.
My gosh. What would I do? Would you want to see me finger knitting?
Yeah, do some more Lego stuff.
Entire hour.
I don't know.
I did. I built this guy here. I just did this off stream. I didn't do this on stream, but I still have the shuttle Discovery.
Yeah.
To do. I only have done the part of the Hubble part of it. So, we've got, just so you know, Exposing Ma's Tricks, which is Ryan Casey, who is on deck. He's in the green room as we speak.
Oh, okay.
I could drive from Sydney to Perth, says Timbo Turtle.
Sweet Jesus, that's a long drive.
And think about it though. It's not as long as the Flurf say it is. Right? Think about that. This map here, Australia is shaped like a hot dog here instead of a hamburger. So,
well, to be a Flurf, you got to expand the land masses somehow. Jesus.
4 days drive from Adelaide.
Jesus. That's tough. But you guys want to come in and let you know about Lake Titicaca, your 48 hours live streaming. But yeah, have a good night.
We should get somebody to live stream from Lake Titicaca.
We should.
Yeah. So who lives in Uganda and can do that? Because Uganda borders Lake Titicaca, right?
Mm-hmm. There's gonna be somebody out there.
Just kidding. It's not. It doesn't. It's a wrong continent.
I know.
It's
Peru. But the rule is we have to agree with you, so that
I didn't know that was the rule.
Oh, it's the rule.
All right. Professor Phil Bell. Click that link. You can come in. But we've got Caucasian Sensation was also there, but we've got the Exposing Mouse Tricks coming up. All right. Anything else you want to add as we
No, I just want to come and say hi. It's been a while. Yeah, great seeing you again. And yeah, man, have a good one.
All right. Thanks for coming.
All right, take it easy.
All right. We've got Ryan Casey coming. There it is. King Crew is out. Ryan Casey exposing Ma's tricks is in. Are you going to be on Scream? Scream. Oh, we do. We get to see Ryan in person.
Somewhat.
All right. Started the timer. How you doing there, Ryan?
Good. Why can't I see you?
Oh, I'll send me. There you go.
There we go.
How's that?
Not too bad. Did you notice the sheep are running in circles?
No.
You didn't hear about that story?
Does it have to do with somebody that can't fall asleep quickly?
No. There's a bunch of sheep. I think it's Australia that it's the Pen 13. They've decided that whatever sheep do, they are all walking around in a circle right now. It's very unusual.
In Pen 13?
In Pen 13.
Have you been? Are you a member of the Pen 13 club?
Well, yeah, I am the one that has to pen what the zodiac is, so you could say I'm a member of the Pen 13 club. Yeah.
Okay. Do you ever have ID10T errors?
Say again?
Do you ever have ID10T errors?
I don't know what you're saying.
Okay.
But I just, I'm supposed to help you guys find the fish, right? So,
No.
Wednesday is the new show on Netflix, and Adams is a fish. It's a 42, and the villain Hyde, he's a 42, HYDE. So that makes you Mr. Hyde, and I am Dr. Jekyll, Adam Jekyll. You get the 6'5". It's good to see you, Mattoon.
What are you talking about? Why? Oh, he laughs. I have no idea what he's talking about. Guys, you're still there. You didn't leave. You just turned off your camera.
The 6'5", the FE. You don't get it.
No, none of this makes sense, Ryan. This is all just you rambling on, and it's kind of funny. It's like good comedy, but it's also a little like, dude, you're a little off the deep end.
Well, McToon, you tell me, if Satan is not the temptation to say tangential sight along a curving earth is causing the horizon, why is that character called Satan? You said you're a Christian, right?
It has nothing to do with anything.
Really? Then why isn't he Jabba or Farfanugan?
What is he in? What is he in Navajo?
I don't know.
Try it. Does it? If it's just one language, you're just playing with stuff. It's not universal. It's not.
So who do you think wrote the Bible?
People.
The Holy Spirit?
But how does that? But they didn't write it in English. They wrote it Hebrew, Greek, and some Aramaic.
But somehow it just got to be that word.
What?
And
word?
There it is. SATAN. Well, you're not. I'm not allowed to spell it out in that stupid Facebook group. I have to put stars around it.
Oh my gosh!
You guys don't want to admit that you guys are the ones that ate from the tree of knowledge. You guys know what the ledge is out there.
Oh my gosh! What was it in Hebrew?
I'm sorry to tell you more
ancient
on this,
Hebrew.
All you can do on the earth is look from horizon to horizon.
Oh my gosh.
You guys have a claim about what is causing the horizon, and then you started saying about what the earth is doing. But if your claim about what the horizon is wrong, then your whole model is obviously not really having. But you'll not if you can't offer me something that would disprove your claim to the horizon, to know what the horizon is, then you don't believe in science, McToon.
I can. Yes. All right. State your case, and I'll do my best to disprove it. You got 40 seconds.
Okay, so All right. The horizon has a mathematical distance that you know it should be at according to what the size of the ball is, right? And your height. Okay.
And taking into account refraction. Yes.
And taking into account refraction. Now, somebody sent me something the other day that said 8%, about an 8% extension of the horizon is what we see during standard refraction, right?
If you're over water, there's nothing standard about it.
Okay, right. So the super duper, whatever could happen for refraction, what kind of percentage are we looking at, you think?
100%.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay, now
it could, if there's there's your timer. If there's 1 degree Celsius in 10 meters, you can have indefinite vision, because the ray of the light will have the same radius. The arc will have the same radius as the Earth. You can see indefinitely. So there's no limit to how far you could see given the correct conditions, and similar conditions happen.
We're the ones showing you what happens out there, right? And you guys get to ref our action and claim the refraction, right? So that's what you guys get to do. I know you enjoy it. But it's about
get the measurements and control for conflating variables. But Ryan,
100%, 1200%. That's what we're seeing right now. So just add that to the science of your ball and how the light bends around it.
It's been done, and I'm glad to send you the information for you to read so that you have a good understanding of it. But all right, thank you, Ryan.
I love you.
Always, love you too. Always good to have you. All right, take care. Be safe. All right. I got this from Stan Trucker, so I'm gonna open it. I don't know what it is. I went to the post office. My wife's like, "What is it? What did you get?" I'm like, "I don't know. It's from Stan Trucker." So, all right. Hope it's appropriate. All right. It's a. Hold on. All right, so here's this thing. I don't know what it is. I'm like, is this appropriate or not? All right, so it says MOVA on the top there. Oh, all right, Stan Trucker. All right. Oh yeah. All right. So Jara Cardella is next. I'll give a link. I saw Earth is Life wanted to come in. LB things, stuff, and more. No. All right. Oh, register your MOVA globe. Hold on a second. Oh, I think I know what this is. It's you can see right there. It's out of focus, but it's got this. It's Lexan or something, right? Peel off this coating. Wow, this is probably nicer than it needs to be. It's well, it's got things to support it, so I don't know if it's like a magnetic levitating one. Oh my gosh, I know what it is now. Stan. Too nice. There it is. Oh my gosh, Stan, that is way too much. It's a thin clear coating with probably a fluid inside and then a globe on it, so it like, and there's a weight on the bottom. Wow, that is way too kind, Stan. Thank you for that. Thank you so much. So it's got these here to hold it up. And then yeah, you take off these sheets. I'll do that later. We can see this, and I'll get a spot. I'll have to put it like right here, maybe right there. And it sits like that. I've got to be careful so it doesn't fall. There it goes. So, wow, that is very nice. Stan Trucker, thank you very much. That is way too kind, way too much. So Greg Andrews, that's from Stan Trucker. It's spinning the wrong way, even better. So you can get it spinning really good. There you go. This is how fast the flat earthers think it spins. It slows down. All right. Well, that's so nice, so kind. All right, I'm gonna put it safely in here. I'll set it down. Stan, I'll have a sip of some Toonshine in your honor. Thank you very much for that. So yes, thank you for that. All right, so that's from Mova Globes. There you go. There it is. So if people are interested. Yeah, it wasn't going 1,000 miles an hour. So, all right, I'll get it up on the shelf there. It'll be there for the next room. I kind of a large mishmash of stuff there. So, but I'll order things a little better. So, all right, we've got a whole bunch coming in. Let's see. Jera was next, so we'll do that. Again, thank you very much for that, Stan. I appreciate that a lot. So, all right. Jera, and I don't know the order. I know Caucasian Sensation, and then a Jason Kolosike, Butt Munch 69, B-Ball for Life. I think we'll do it in those orders. So, Butt Munch 69. I am where'd you go? Did you, you went away. All right. Did I say Jason was next then? So, all right, Jason is next. Jason Kolosike. If I gave you the order differently than just now, I'm sorry. All right. All right, Jason, you're super close to the camera. Can you back up a little bit or something?
There. I've lost my glasses, and that's the only way I can see the screen.
Oh, yeah. If I lose my glasses, I got to do the opposite. These are for reading. So.
Well, I tend to work from home, and I have these monitors that are supposed to be a good arm distance away, but I tend to have them like 8 inches from my face until I get my replacement glasses in a few weeks. So yeah.
Nice.
So thanks for accepting me. I thought for moments that you're perhaps ducking me. I tried on the iPhone and on a tablet. Every time I clicked on the link, I got, "Do you want to report this?" No, I don't want to report this.
Really?
Yes, yeah, I don't know why. And so I figured maybe I can see the full link on a computer. So this is my new laptop with my laptop camera. Sorry, I guess. Oh, that might be better. Whoop. There. Now,
right, that's better.
I've tried to communicate to you, but maybe you didn't catch it, or there's too many emails. I've noticed, like, I've been following Flat Earth for quite a while, and I know the complaint about 8 inches squared per mile, but and I thought it was quite ludicrous to maybe use a parabola to explain a circle. Until I decided, okay, let's try this out. And I made a little spreadsheet, and for at least the first mile, works fine. And it works pretty good until 10 miles, where I think there's only about an inch difference. And so for measuring disappearance, it really doesn't matter. Though I must admit, it doesn't take into the viewer height into the equation. And earlier today, I saw Flight to Flat Earth, one of his old Flat Earth videos about the stupidity of the flirts, and he showed a graph of a circle versus the 8 inch squared, and
parabola. Yeah.
actually the circle is actually tighter. It's actually a sharper drop with the circle than the parabola. So are we perhaps making too much of the every time they say 8 inches squared? Like, do we just like it's flat to the face to get a reaction? Not that I don't expect flirts are that smart, but it's almost like I'm going to insult you with a slap and see what you do. And all the way
I can explain it. The 8 inches per mile squared is a formula which is appropriate for some uses. And I tried to get that with Ryan earlier, but he wasn't interested in the geometry. Obviously, it was a little bit rough for him.
Yeah.
I was drawing this, right? And so
Right.
8 inches per mile squared from here to here, this drop here is 8
Yes.
inches per mile squared. It's an approximation, but for a 100-mile observation, it's fine, which is more than you usually are going to do. But
Right.
that's not bottom-up obstruction. And they always use it for bottom-up obstruction. In fact, that's the only formula that flat earthers know for curve. So they try to use it for everything. I've had flat earthers in debates try to use it for what you should see for the from an airplane, and they don't know how to apply it. But so the reason why it's wrong is not because it's a parabola, but because it isn't telling you anything about how much is obstructed bottom up, unless your eyeball is half submerged in water. So if your eyeball is half submerged in water, then it's the correct formula. But there's the way that they use it, there's no way to include the observer height. What they'd like to do is they try to just say, well, I'll just subtract the observer height from it. But that isn't actually the correct way either. It's drastically wrong when the observations are a couple miles out.
Okay. I noticed that based on my poor calculation, perhaps it's only about a difference of 1.25 foot at 100 miles. So like it won't help with a black swan type of thing, but it would maybe have effect on ships, showing that they're definitely lower on the horizon or beyond.
Yeah.
Yes.
The other thing that it also requires is that there's no refraction. And that's a super important part of it.
No. Yeah, that's true.
And they
No
always ignore, they always just hand wave dismiss that there's any refraction at all. Some even claim that refraction is not even possible in the air, also while showing videos of refraction making things different in there. So
wasn't Ryan saying the opposite on your previous thing? You're saying it was all the moisture air was causing?
He doesn't know, right? They tend to think that there's the timer. They tend to think that humidity makes things harder to see, and they think humidity increases refraction. It doesn't. It decreases refraction. But it's not just refraction. It's the changing refraction that's the important part. So it's a gradient of refraction. So higher refraction close to the ground, lower refraction as you go up. And that's what is not just an index of refraction, it's a varying index of refraction. And they don't get that. It takes hard, it's math. It's a lot of math to do it right.
So there might be bigger refraction an inch above the road top where the tires disappear first?
That's due to temperature. That temperature is crazy differences in temperature. So
yes. Okay. So, well, thanks for taking my invitation or inviting me, and
thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
All right, and Caucasian Sensations coming in next, but we'll see you later, Jason. All right. Oh, he's already here. We see you. We saw the bottom of the face. Now he's walking. All right, can you hear us? Can you hear me? He froze. There he is. All right. Oh, I don't hear you yet. You gotta unmute. Wait, are you in the back? Hold on a second. I have a feeling this is a Dion Smo moment.
There we go. Is that working?
There. Okay, I can hear you. Now, Dion Smo is known for doing live streams from within the bathroom.
I got the best lighting in here. We got some pretty awesome bulbs. Our other ones are kind of that soft ambient light.
All right. How you doing, Caucasian Sensation? Hey, I know. Are you going to ask me about the debate with the FTFE?
Well, yeah, I was going to circle to it, but at first I was going to prove how much of a fanboy I am of both you and FTFE.
Be a fanboy of FTFE. No fanboy needed from me.
You guys are freaking awesome, and I love what you do.
Let's see. Somebody, I'm just looking at the chat here. The act is becoming boring. Nebula Orion. Somebody says, all right, well, I don't know. Hoeing or something. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
All right. Continue.
I did have a question for you. I was wondering if, okay, flat earthers never bring evidence. We know that, and it's proven scientifically. But what would you say, like, okay, especially with dumbass Witsit gets it, what would you say is the most complicated mess they've created to unravel? And the simple form of this question is, what's the most challenging derp you've ever dealt with? And that's different from top left. I'm just asking for the complicated shit.
Well, Austin does try for that, I think. For the most part, it's just, a misunderstanding and a diversion, because last week I said it to him a few times. All of the things, if he was right on all the things that he's saying, it still doesn't provide the first piece of evidence for flat Earth.
No,
all that he did, if all of the things that he did was right, the only thing he did was establish that one of many measurements of Earth's orbit weren't usable.
He's just so rapid fire with all these different things jumbled into a kind of sentence, and then he throws it out at you, and he's charismatic enough that he can carry on the conversation, and he can just totally leave somebody in the dirt. But in reality, the guy has no clue what's anything. He doesn't get anything, and
and
I'm sure we could rant about him forever.
This is really important, because the people that like him and think that he's a good debater, they post, like somebody posted on Facebook his response to the debate that I did with, like, oh, he totally smashed it there, and I go to that person, I said, well, can you please then describe to me how Michelson Morley and Michelson Gale can coexist on flat Earth with Aether? And I end my comment with, you will run, you will not answer. And guess what this person did not do?
He did exactly that.
Did not answer. They all think that Witsit does a great job. But when I ask them to describe to me in their own words what they thought Witsit was doing, what his point is, what the evidence is about, they can't. None of them.
Yeah. That's so silly. They try to beat around the bush whenever you call them out on that. A really simple, specific question: how do you prove your point? Scientifically, we don't prove, but what evidence do you have? And they dodge the question like DMOC. Oh my God. I don't know about you, but I had to get put on some anti-anxiety medicine last time I listened to that dipshit.
Some of them are just for entertainment. They're strictly entertainment. So DMOC,
they're not there to learn nothing. Even though you guys prepare, they're not there to learn a damn thing.
No. They're like, it looks flat to me, therefore flat. That's about it. But yeah, I mean, they have levels. That you have Witsit is the, he misunderstands doctorate level physics and everything else. And you
ask him about it, he's a genius.
Oh yeah, he'll tell you all day long that he is. And then you have S.E. Montreal that's so confused he doesn't know which way's down. So
as far as some of these flirts, like especially DMOC, I don't think he's ever flown anywhere. I don't think he's been off the ground higher than the tallest building in his neighborhood, which is probably the water tower. And even then, you can still see Earth curve from the top of the dang water tower. And
well, not with your eyes.
No, but you can definitely tell that it's not flat. I won't say straight up curve from that altitude, but I can tell that it's not flat.
Yeah, the existence of a crisp horizon is impossible on flat Earth.
Yeah.
So
I'm logistically, I've always been amazed at how they say that the sun is small and local and that it's electrically powered. And you had someone on that hit on this, but I want to expand a little bit more. But talking about the logistics to power something as big as the sun? I mean,
without
to give us
nuclear
the
fusion,
heat.
it's got to be something else.
Oh man,
What is it? Yeah.
where are the power cables going to that? We've done a lot of stuff with wireless shit, but I guarantee they didn't have a wireless sun back in the day that needed charged.
Yeah, it's amazing. All right, well, I've got the timer is up for you, but I think so. For people wondering, we did a debate between the first debate on the SC Toon Show, which just became the Toon Show, which I've not done anything with since, between you and FTFE on whether or not to legalize the devil's lettuce, and
yep,
you've wanted a rematch on that, so maybe we can. So
I was seriously destroyed that time. I had, oh man, technical difficulties, but yeah, that was pretty brutal. But
there. All right, well, I'm
Thanks,
anxious to hear what Butt Munch 69 has to say. So,
thanks for having me. We'll see you.
Thanks for stopping by. All right, B-ball for life. Where'd you go? You ducked out. You can't do that on me, B-ball. All right, and Nebula Orion is Nebula Orion saying that there's an audit happening for mods? No, there is no such thing as that. I don't know who Nebula Orion is, but that kind of stuff is likely to get you actually just booted if you're going to be talking like that. So, all right. I hear. I hear Butt
And
Munch.
Nebula.
Hello.
Orion
You gotta mute the stream there.
There's an audit.
I'm hearing myself come back.
For mods.
Okay, just hang on a second.
All right. All right. So yeah, it's still going. So I need to let's see. And he's not on camera. So we'll put the chat back up. So it's still going. I still hear it. You have to mute the audio there. Oh, there it is. Yep. Okay. Sounds good.
Sorry about that. Testes. 1, 2, 3. Hey, dude. The last guy said Caucasian. That's hilarious. I've got a few questions for you, though.
Okay.
If the Earth was flat, how would I be able to score?
Pretty sure you can't score.
Beavis is never going to score. He's a dumbass. Anyways, if there's 8 inches per square mile, like you're saying, does that mean like my wiener would be like extra long, or would it be shaped like a parabolic wiener shape?
I don't know, butthead. You tell me.
Based on my observations, the Earth is pretty cool. Especially since if you look at the moon is round. Why, and the sun is round? Why wouldn't the Earth be around? I just don't get it.
Yes. Parabolic wiener. Lubo in China. You can send your link. That's a good question, Butt Munch 69.
Okay.
I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
All right. Do you need TP for your bunghole?
Beavis needs TP for his bunghole, but that's because he doesn't know how to wipe right. Last time I checked, he thought the Earth was flat, and he couldn't wipe his own butt. Oh yeah, and then I had another question.
Okay.
If the Earth was flat, then what would happen to everyone's boobs? Would those go flat too? Because I just can't imagine an Earth
with no boobs.
It doesn't sound like a place that anybody would want to live.
Yeah, I have been to the top of the mountain, and it is good. And and it's so beautiful.
So you say.
When you guys were talking about the horizons, it's very beautiful when the sun comes up in the mornings. I have a horizon going on in my pants right now.
Glad to hear that.
Flat earthers are stupid.
I like your work. Your entire body of work is some good stuff.
Yeah, I've been working on it for a long time.
Yes. And the movie, even in a movie.
Yeah, we're pretty flat on the screen, though. That's why I'm so interested in the subject, sir.
Oh, I see.
We're used to a completely different dimension. It's almost like the same dimension as nachos.
There's a nacho dimension?
It's flat. It's mostly flat and triangular.
So do they curl sometimes?
They sure do, sir. And they taste delicious.
Have you?
I wish I could go with all of the math, like the 360 degrees and all that, but I didn't do very good in school.
Yep. We know that. Paul is wondering if you've scored yet, maybe with some flat Earth chicks.
Not yet, but someday.
Someday. Do you think
that day will come?
They're easier?
Chicks are easy, but for some reason I just haven't scored yet. But I know I will because I keep trying.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things.
It's been a
It's one of those
multi-decade
mysteries.
problem.
It's one of those mysteries nobody will ever know.
Well, no, people know. People have. Yeah, people
all the chicks want to score with me. It's because I'm pretty good looking and I'm way cooler than Beavis. That's why I hang out with him.
Yeah,
he makes me look cool.
He does. Well, Butt Munch 69, it's been amazing. And I like your work. Do continue with the butt munching. But I'm gonna bring in let's see. We got three.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, thank you for coming by. Make sure you have TP for your bunghole.
I will. You too.
Yes. All right. We've got. Let's see. We got Phil Kidd coming. Phil Kidd. There's a couple just popped in quick, so here we come.
Yes. Phil Collins is going to be on TV.
It's Phil Kidd. And I'll let you see yourself out there.
Studio. Genesis sucked. Phil Collins is going to be on TV.
It's Phil Kidd. All right, you gotta go, Butt Munch. All right, I'll let you see yourself out there.
Studio.
All right, there you go. Out you go. All right. Out. And so, all right, Phil, I hear some feedback coming from you, Phil. So you need to pause or mute or pause the live stream on YouTube. Oh, jeez. All right, that sounds good. All right,
you have some amazing characters.
Yes,
that follow you.
I'm a big fan of Beavis and Butthead, and so welcome, Phil. How's it going?
Oh, really good. Down in Australia, it's not bad.
It looks like it's nighttime there in Australia.
No, this is one of my photos.
Oh, very nice. Are
I,
those stars that I cannot see here in Minnesota?
No, you can see them in Minnesota. We got two Messier things, Messier 20 and Messier 8.
Okay.
So yeah, you can see them.
I don't recognize them offhand.
Sorry?
I don't recognize them offhand.
They don't look like that unless you photograph them.
Oh, I see. Okay. And of course, the flurfs will say it's all CGI and programmed into your telescope.
It certainly is, isn't it? It has to be. Couldn't be real.
They don't want it to be real.
Yeah. So interesting little observation, because I'm one of those people that actually has flown from Sydney to Santiago.
Oh.
On QF 26, about 7 or 8 years ago now.
Yeah.
Interesting. I was on the right-hand side of the plane, and the sun was on my side leaving Sydney. So we're flying southish.
Yeah.
And coming into Santiago, I watched the sunrise for a few hours. So again, we're flying north. Hard to do that when you're flying over North America.
Especially when the amount of time it took was a little off, huh?
Yeah, that sonic boom was with us all the way, though.
It's such desperation for them to just...
And we did have to put our hands out the window and flap for a while because we ran out of fuel halfway, but that was okay.
Very nice.
So I noticed you used the distance across Australia a while ago to sort of put a bit of Kaka on the flat Earth map.
Yeah.
Really interestingly, Sydney and Perth are almost on 33 south.
Okay.
We know the road distance.
Yep.
If you use that distance in longitude, you can get a circumference of that flat Earth circle that's smaller than the equator.
Yes.
A little bit embarrassing.
And of course they'll say, well, you don't know the distance across the water.
Well, I know the distance across Australia. Can drive that.
Yeah, but how could the longitude, the differences between longitudes vary when it's over water versus over land? Makes no sense.
Yeah, that's flat Earth.
Yes. Amazing.
And here's another one for you. I've actually spent the night sleeping on an island on Lake Titicaca.
Really?
Yep. It's a nice little hotel on an island on Lake Titicaca.
I should totally live stream from that hotel.
It's a nice little place. They do good pisco sours.
Good what?
Pisco sour.
I don't know what that is. Was that a drink?
It is a drink. Pisco is the drink that comes from Peru and Chile. Sort of made from wine, or made from grapes. Nice spirit wine.
Oh.
Add some lemon juice, bit of egg white, shake it up.
Egg white.
To kill for.
That's interesting.
It's really, really good.
Egg white. I like raw egg white and shaken up in, because it's got lemon juice, so maybe it's
yeah, and add some sugar syrup.
Okay.
So it sweetens it up.
Interesting.
Very nice.
I'll that sounds like something to try for sure.
Yeah, indeed. Anyway, I might leave it at that. My wife's sort of saying I've got to go to the shopping now, something waste of time.
Well, I had Santa Claus on earlier, so you don't really need to go shopping. He'll get all the presents.
Oh, well, that's I'll stay then.
All right, well, we're getting towards the end here, and I got Brenda coming up next. So,
okay.
All right, thanks for stopping by, Phil. All right, and Brenda, you're coming on next. Let's see. All right. I don't know if you're gonna be on camera if you want to be. I see that the camera has been activated.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I have not. I have it covered with a piece of tape.
Okay, I'll switch to the live chat. Okay.
I am shy about coming online on camera. I wouldn't mind if it wasn't for people that are really mean and would use that to do really mean things. But I thought, but you know, maybe in the future sometime I'll come on cameras more when I get a little bit less concerned about that. So, but I decided to come on because, you know, I really like your show. I really support it. I wish I could do more to support it. But I just wanted to say hello. And really, today's show was really funny. It was really enjoyable. And I like your show. And I like how you conduct your show. I look at it as a sort of a tutorial on how to handle people that are very difficult. And so it's very instructive in that way. And I really like the show and everything.
Well, thank you for that.
Yeah. I don't come on very often. I don't, I interact in the chat a little bit, but otherwise I don't come on much. But this time I wanted to give a little shout out, and we got a ton of snow here today, didn't we?
We did. Oh, I had to shovel this morning. I had to, when I got back from work, I had to do some more. The neighbor had some, so my wife is in here. You want to give me a okay, hold on. She wants to ask me, Brenda, just pause for a second. And then, okay, they're going to hear you ask. No, you want me to mute myself? All right, Brenda, can you entertain them for a second while I mute myself?
Yes, I particularly enjoyed today the insistence by the flat earther that the tripods setting up the targets must be in the water. Otherwise, it was an illegitimate measurement. It was not scientific. That was a peak flurferism of epic proportions, insisting that the tripods actually be in the water was simply beyond crazy. I have never heard anything like that before.
It is a new level. And he was pre-rejecting everything, and they do that, but so anyway, I was just handed Turtle. There's Turtle. Hello, Turtle. Looking right at the camera. Look at that. Good Turtle. Very photogenic.
Yeah.
Right. Turtle is unsure about the new guest or the new house member.
I do have something that just occurred to me just right now, which is in your discussion with Witsit about relativity, I got lost. And because I don't know this stuff other than through popular magazines, popular websites, and some of them are really good. Like some of these science website channels on YouTube are really good, but it only gets you so far. And frankly, I got lost at what was being talked about. And maybe sometime a discussion with Bryant or somebody or Tony or Professor Phil about what constantly interests me is where conceptually they go wrong and what exactly is going wrong. You did have something about it recently in a short video, which was helpful, but I think more in depth would be helpful. And this
stream, I started out with about half an hour, maybe talking about that. So I don't know if you saw that.
I did not see that. So I'll have to go back.
Yeah. So this one is going to automatically unlist itself for like a day. So it'll be unlisted, but still viewable. So if you capture the link to it. But yeah, it's a good point. And it's not very often that flat earthers actually bring up the topic. But the big thing is that Michelson, if you take their claim that they say that the Earth is stationary, that the aether exists, and they say then that Michelson Morley was a successful measurement of non-movement, right? That doesn't work with Michelson Gale, which was a different type of interferometer that did measure rotation. Those two can't work together with aether and stationary Earth.
Okay.
That's the essence of it. But yeah, most flat earthers don't get into that. When I went to the conference in Dallas in 2019, the lanyards had a bunch of experiments written on the lanyard. So it had Aries failure, Michelson Gale, Michelson Morley, and a couple others that I don't remember. I took some pictures of it actually. But it's a little bit of a reverse psychology thing, I think, because when you actually look at these experiments, they don't actually work for flat Earth. But part of it is, well, when somebody says, don't believe what I say, go check it for yourself, it's reverse psychology. People are going to say, oh, well, he's so open about it, I don't need to even go because I totally believe that he's sincere.
Yes.
That you're right. So you get that. But the other is they are complicated. And if you're not really into that topic much, it can be very confusing. So how I did a lot of study when Whitsitt started talking about it. And since 2019, 2018, when it was a little bit of a periphery issue. So, and Bryant and I actually went through a whole bunch of things. We kind of analyzed a little bit of what Austin was saying, trying to understand his position, because he doesn't actually very clearly state his position. Right? He tries, like a lot of flat earthers, to just debunk the globe and not actually have a position, because as soon as they have a position, you can test it and show that it's wrong. So
I do like that he has now come out in favor of sidereal rotation, which is quite good. He doesn't know what he says, did he? He doesn't know.
He doesn't. Because the thing is that the time's up, but we'll wrap this here in a second.
Yeah, that's fine.
Lubo is up next. Or no, sorry, Mango is next, then Lubo. He thinks that because there were error bars in the initial Michelson Morley experiment, every measurement has error bars, and flat earthers typically don't get that. He thinks that there were error bars, therefore that little bit of error bars, he says they measured some movement. No, they didn't. Anything within those error bars, you can't draw conclusions about it. But future measurements were much more precise and had smaller error bars, and he even mentions it, the 1987 Air Force one, and he hasn't brought it up yet, but I'm ready when he does. All right, one.
Okay.
Anyway,
thank you. Explain. What keeps me interested is figuring out how they get so wrong. So maybe like explainers, like you've been doing, are a good way to go. Like that's what keeps me interested. Is how the hell. But some of that goes into like psychiatric issues, though.
There is some psychology there. Yeah. So, all right, Brenda, thanks a lot. Always good to talk to you. All right, we've got Mango Tea on the way in, then Lubo, and I see Quantum Degreaser. Tell you, McFlatty cannot get enough of Quantum Degreaser. He just keeps talking about him like, McFlatty, stop. Please stop. He won't. He just can't get enough. Anyway. All right, are we... Mango Tea, welcome.
Hello there.
Oh, is this another Aussie?
No, I'm from Minnesota.
Oh, are you really? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, welcome, Mango Tea.
Thank you. Do you get paid to do this?
YouTube pays me, and I have some patrons. So
okay,
those two, yes. I mean, YouTube pays me ad money, and super chats, of course, come to me after YouTube has a 30% take on those, and then I get based on advertisements. I get paid.
So your entire channel is about debunking flat earthers, is that right?
It's not the only topic that I do, but it's my main topic, yes.
Interesting. Why aren't you a flat earther?
Because the Earth is a globe. It's factually a globe.
Because the mainstream science community has declared it to be a globe, you think it's a globe?
No, I personally measured it.
You personally measured it?
Yes.
Using what?
Using an Eratosthenes type measurement. I did it 4 times on both equinoxes and both solstices. I did it with several other people on the same day. We got results that were very close to each other. We also hypothesized that the Earth was flat and measured the elevation of the sun. Every one of us got a different elevation for the sun for flat Earth. Further, I applied perspective, which flat earthers told me to do. I applied perspective to the elevation of the sun at midday on each of those days. And I did a whole video explaining the math of it for doing it on the December solstice, which is coming up in about 4 weeks. So from Minnesota, I measured the elevation of the sun to be about 2,000 miles. And if the sun, when it's due south of me, midday, is 2,000 miles elevation, then 12 hours later, when the sun is on the opposite side of the North Pole from me, using this map, then the sun is still 2,000 miles high, and it must be about 10 degrees in elevation. But the sun wasn't in 10 degrees in elevation. It had crossed the horizon at full size many hours prior. So it failed again.
So what you're saying is you used a 2,000-year-old fake experiment.
No, I personally did it myself.
Experiment, a 2,000-year-old illegitimate experiment.
Well, how's it illegitimate?
To determine that the Earth is round. It's illegitimate because if you looked at the first statement he made when he was conducting this fake experiment, the first thing he said is that I am making an assumption that the Earth is round.
Yeah. So what
that is not how you that is not how you begin. That is not how you begin a scientific experiment. You don't begin by saying, I'm going to make an assumption.
That is 100% wrong.
No, that is not how scientific experimentation
tell you what,
works.
Read this. Come back to me once you've read this. Okay? And then we can talk. Okay? Popper, the logic of scientific discovery.
Absolutely not. You don't get to make an assumption and then say, oh, well,
It is actually impossible to do science without making assumptions. It's completely impossible.
No, you've had to have
100% impossible to not make an assumption when you're doing science. It's actually not possible. You should read a little bit, get yourself educated on how science actually works.
So you agree that you can use assumptions when you're conducting experimentation?
You must use assumptions when conducting experiments. There's no other way to do it. It's absolutely impossible to not do an assumption.
What?
A hypothesis is an assumption.
No, it's not an assumption. A hypothesis is not an assumption.
It 100% is. You are then testing to see if it's accurate or not. It can't be something that's been confirmed. Otherwise, it's not a hypothesis.
No. You're confusing the two. Okay, observation, observing a phenomena, observing a phenomena, and then conducting experimentation to see that phenomena occurs again and again and again. That's completely different than me making an assumption, an assumption that none of us can prove.
All right. Okay? Well, tell you what, go learn science. Start by reading this.
No.
And then come back. And once you've gotten yourself up to speed on science, then we can have a conversation about how to do science. Anyway, your time is up.
I want to ask you one last question.
Right, but if you want to tell you what, if you want to come back, you can come back, and we can set up a whole time.
I want to ask you one last question, if you may.
Sure.
Did you see those images from the Artemis, from Artemis? Those images from space, and you can see the Earth.
I saw many of them, not all of them. I haven't been following it very closely.
It looks like an egg that's been painted to look like Earth, placed in a dark room. It's literally the Earth looks like an egg.
Okay. The Earth is still a globe with or without NASA or Artemis or Orion or Apollo. So
you believe in those images? You believe in those images?
They're actually pretty good. So tell you what, will you contact me? My contact information is in the description of all my videos, and you can get an entire session just between you and me.
Fantastic. I'm looking forward to it.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right. We'll talk to you later. Thanks for stopping by. We got Lubo coming in, and then Quantum Degreaser, followed by Space Potato. Space Potato. I love that. All right, Lubo, welcome. Oh, we even have Lubo on the screen. How you doing?
I'm great. It's interesting, the mix of the people who come into the call show.
I love it. It's fun, for sure.
Yeah, like the difference between the dampness and like the really clever people who come in. Well, I just want to say I'm really big fan of your show and the way how you debate too. I started recently debates just on the small channels like Horses, or last time I just tried 24/7. What was that channel?
The Tartaria one?
But no, there is another one, 24/7. But anyway,
yeah.
Yes. I mean, it was kind of okay, but the way how they block everything logical, or if it's something that comes into the conclusion that they cannot argue about, like for example, they always say that all the navigational maps are flat. Then I say, okay, then connect them together and create first flat Earth map. Like, you'll be first, you'll be famous. Yeah,
I already connected them together. I got them all right here. Turns out they make a globe.
Yeah, I saw it. Let's be first flat Earth to get the flat maps, connect them together, and create. That doesn't work. And just the last one, the last person who connected, he said like, oh, they all lie. But actually, a recent launch of Webb Space Telescope. Maybe I can show you here. So I took my telescope and I found out the coordinates where it was it was on the halfway to its location, and I tracked the James Webb Telescope with my telescope. You can find out these things. You can check yourself, but they never do.
No.
Yeah.
So what was that previous one?
Yeah. That was James Webb Space Telescope.
Oh. Yep. Okay.
Because I got a bad weather, I couldn't do that. Oh yeah, that's the date. So I was doing astrophotography, and I focused on M61, and that was like April 27th. And then I heard the news. There's a supernova in that galaxy. So I went again with my telescope, and I imaged. That was in May 20th. So 1 month, and there's the supernova over here. You can see it. That was amazing.
Yeah.
So this is missing, and there's a supernova, and I just did it with my basic HD 8 telescope. I have 8 HD. That's a Celestron, and like the things you can do just with the telescope, like galaxies, anything you can do. Or there was a solar eclipse, and you could actually see this was even with the more basic telescope. So this actually, you can see the surface of the moon. They always say that is not moon, but you can actually see all the craters. You can see the mountains and hills of the moon covering the sun. And they never also address what are the solar spots. Like I shouldn't see the same spots from here than people from America. But if you look at the same time, we see the same sun. They never address these things.
Oh yeah.
Don't even talking about Polaris. Yeah, so my hobby is astrophotography, but I have very little time to do that because recently I got many classes, so I'm waiting for holiday. This over here, It's a Christmas tree. That's a Christmas tree star cluster. I think it's topical to.
Oh yeah.
To the coming Christmas. It looks like a Christmas tree light
a
up.
different color on the left side.
Oh, you mean the star?
Yes.
I'm not sure. I would need to.
But is it? But it's a different. It's just I'm noticing it's a different color. I'm a little colorblind, so I don't. I'm not super sensitive to colors in stars, right? They're all, to me, they're just kind of all, they're just lights, you know.
Yeah, they're all stars, but they have their own colors. So, and this is a cone nebula, and that's what I like doing. One more thing I would like to also notice. For example, this is a stellarium.
Yep.
I like when they say, "Oh, it never rotates 15 degree." Yes, and that's the star Mintaka. Everybody can see Mintaka.
Yep.
It always rises in east and always rises exactly on west.
It's right on the equatorial plane, or very close.
Exactly. So like it's like you don't need to wait for equinox to happen. You just look at the Mintaka and you know exactly. You just measure the distance. It should, or just the simple fact that wherever you are on northern hemisphere or southern hemisphere, it always rises and sets on east, and it rises on east and sets on west. So this is something that flat Earth will never address. That. So there's I'm just really and if I learned these things myself, like just a few years ago, because my son was interested in astronomy. So I started to learn about also spectroscopy and how the light works and everything.
Did you see the video from last night that I did?
Yeah, I gave him some questions. You read 2 questions.
Yeah.
You read 2 questions from me.
And I don't think he does a lot of astronomy type stuff. So that might be.
Yeah.
So. All right. Well, the timer's gone off, and Quantum Degreaser is anxious.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for stopping by. If you want to show pictures again sometime, I'd love to see them. So.
Okay, great. Bye.
Right. Here comes the degreaser. All right. And you can drop yourself off. Otherwise, oh, there you go. Okay. All right. Quantum degreaser. Where are you at? Nothing at all. All right, I'm gonna have to fix this. I'm gonna put the there we go. All right, hold on. There it is. All right, Quantum Degreaser, what's going on? Get you're flurfing it up, man. You're flurfing it up, Quantum Degreaser. So if you don't know, Quantum Degreaser is a big fan of Flat Out. He desperately wants to go to FECU. And McFlatty can't get enough of Quantum Degreaser. So I can't say I'm a big fan Quantum Degreaser, but McFlatty is. So you've got that going for you, which is good. But I still can't hear you. You're flurfing it up. Any audio coming? Anything?
Hey.
Oh, there. All right, Mr. Degreaser.
So I put this whole thing. You know, I'm a flurfer. All right, can you see my video there?
Nope.
Can you see my video?
Nope. I just see a black screen there.
Oh shoot! All right, hold on. I got a cat. She's mad. How do you work this here internet stuff? Oh God dang it! Oh, she is out.
I see
the
cat. We see the cat.
She ain't having it. She made a run for it. Sorry.
Do people ever call you Bubbles?
The glasses. I do see a resemblance. It's a little hard for me to see this. I think so, but yeah, no. I'd like to get some new glasses, Toon. Should I call you MC Toon or Muck Toon?
Yeah, whatever strikes your fancy there, Bubbles.
Yeah, well, so I think I'm owed about 10,000 bitcoins, I believe there. I pretty sure I did that there experiment right. What with the pointing at, I had 3 things on a map, and you could see the sky from. I got a globe here in the background. I could demonstrate on that. My finger pointing the right way. There you go. Yeah.
You think, yeah.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, no, but no, I did an experiment, right? So I took 2 surface samples of a lake, and I haven't seen a glober figure this one out yet, right? So I took 2 samples of a surface of a lake, a mile apart. It's on my channel. And so I got my drink here in one hand. It's a White Russian. I've been pounding these all night. And over yonder here, I got, things are backwards. So I got this here, my jalapeno honey whiskey. So as you see, there's two liquid levels in here, right?
Yep.
So I took that sample, and a mile apart, one of them should have been 8 inches lower than the other, right? According to you Globers.
Yeah.
So I put them on a table. I took 2 samples and I brought them back, put them on workbench, and they're the same level. Explain that, Glober. Hold on, I gotta take this. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Sorry.
That
was an important call there.
Did you apply the Robotham correction to it?
Is that where you take that that formula for making a circle, but it makes a parabolum instead, and you do a conversion or something? It's like a metric system, I think.
I'm not too familiar with the Robotham corrections, but maybe you'd need to study up on that a little bit.
I'll research that, but I'm gonna have to say y'all just gotta research that yourself.
Yeah,
that's how that
do
goes.
our own research.
Right? Yeah, do your own research on that. That ain't up to me. It's not about me. It's about you.
Yeah, it is interesting that you take a sample of the surface of water at a mile apart, and when you put them down next to each other, they weren't.
Yeah,
the one didn't drop 8 inches from the other.
Yeah, let's hear you talk your way out of this one. On a table, side by side, on level surface, and they were. This is confusing looking at a camera at myself. They were even. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe now if you sometimes because they're 3 dimensions, you might need to actually measure them. You have to use the proper eyewear.
3D glass.
Okay, so I'm sure that's it.
I like
definitely the.
I like the cut of your jib, sir. I'm gonna give that a try. I'm gonna try that. The 2 cameras with the red and blue lens. I'm gonna try that.
Yep. But just to be sure, my jib is uncut. Whatever that is. Are you? Oh no.
You got a good cut to your jib, sir. I would also like to take this moment. I just gotta say, I've been munching on some of these.
Oh my god!
These, you cannot go wrong with Old Dutch ketchup chips.
So I have them. They're in my drawer over there, waiting for Punchy to show up again. Oh my god!
What about? A year old now, at least.
A little more.
Well, time is relative, There's time dilation.
It is. I'm sure time has dilated. I can tell you that time dilated for a few months there back in March of 2020.
Yeah. Time dilation.
All right. Well,
are you in the sensation?
Timer's going off.
So. I could make a whole song out of this, but
I'm sure you could.
I think we're about. Yeah, we're.
All right. Well, I hope you don't mind that somebody has linked your
maybe
channel.
Next time.
Your channel has been linked. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much to Quantum Degreaser.
I just gotta say right now, I can't post comments much because YouTube says I've been a bad boy, so I can only do stuff on my phone. It's
Yep.
It's a real pain right now.
That's your phone?
Hopefully I get that fixed. No, I can't log in on the computer. It's
struggle is
it really
real.
sucks.
Yeah.
Eh.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
It really sucks my head. Nah.
We need some. We got some space potato coming. So, all right. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
How do I leave
Mr.
this here?
Degreaser.
How to leave this here internet tube things?
Don't
leave
worry.
button? There's a leave right here. We go. I got it.
All right, you got it. Okay,
Yeah,
that was good. Hey, he figured it out. I wasn't sure if he's gonna. All right, the space potato is going to be. You're going to be the last one.
Oh boy.
So make it good, Mr. Potato.
I don't think I can top that last guy. That was a good show.
Degreaser, he is a legend in his own mind.
Absolutely. So how you doing?
I'm great. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Is that an oscilloscope?
There's two. Which one are you looking at?
The old school one, of course.
The old one.
Yes.
That is my
new crap.
none of that new crap.
It's digital, and they put stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
This is from 1968. It's a Japanese old one. It's like one channel, no special stuff. It's currently my project is trying to get it working.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I just took these massive capacitors out that I think are the problem. So I bought new ones, and hopefully it should bring some life back into it. But
have you charged them and then touched them to your tongue? That's the official way to test.
That's a good point. I mean, they're supposed to run at 1600 volts, so I'm sure that would have been something.
You'll know.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna flex on some of you, and so I'm currently an electrical engineer at a certain 4-letter agency that
IBM.
Almost 4 letters.
3M.
But and so I got to tell you that your biweekly NASA shield check is going to be delayed. I think someone from logistics messed up and put it on Orion accidentally, so you're gonna have to wait until like mid-December for that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I was hoping. I got a little bit of a nastygram from Karen in HR, and I was scared she might do something like this.
Oh, I think she's out to get you, honestly.
She's out to get everybody. In April at the annual breakdancing competition, you know, the one where it always goes back and forth between Neil deGrasse Tyson and Simon Dan. I'm like, hey, can I get floor seating at least this time? She's like, yeah, you bet. I was mezzanine 7, back row.
Man.
Yeah,
man, she really must not like you.
I mean, Dan still won. That's all that matters. So
yeah. Well, I'm rooting for Bill Nye this year. So
Bill Nye, he just does tech support and he sucks at it.
Oh, so. Well, this is something I want to bring up is I last year I debated Kyle Adams a while on his debate board.
Oh yeah,
and that was an experience. I joined when he was responding to one of your videos. I forgot what it was about, but he got this idea that gravity or G-force, like in a car, you feel when you turn in a car, is gravity. Yeah. And then he got into any acceleration is just G-force, which is just gravity.
He's confused about the equivalence principle.
Yeah.
So for people, equivalence principle, you can't tell the difference between acceleration and gravity, right? They are equivalent to each other. That doesn't mean they are the same thing. That just means that you cannot, without something else, tell the difference between them. So you could tell the difference by looking out the window if you're in free fall or not, or if you're in double acceleration because you're in an elevator.
Yeah, I remember at one point he also basically denied momentum as being a real thing. He claimed that if this was his example, that if he was in space and got hit by an anvil that was moving at whatever, like 1,000,000 miles an hour,
can we
as
all
soon
just
as it hit
pause
him
for a second and just enjoy the picture you just painted in your mind of Kyle Adams being in space, being hit with an anvil.
But he thinks that as soon as it hits him, it's just going to stop and not transfer any motion.
It's going to stop?
Oh yeah, because he thinks there's no weight in space that therefore momentum can't exist, or momentum would be zero no matter what.
Oh, yeah, because he doesn't understand the difference between. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then at one point, he said the normal force didn't exist, even though he cited it, an image with it. That was good. He said some pretty funny stuff,
Yeah,
and then he banned me eventually. But
yeah,
it was a good time.
Mass is not weight. Yeah, he bans everybody on his he I think it's approval only for his channel.
Mm-hmm.
And he complains about censorship, and I'm like, you are the king of censorship.
Yeah, he's like, oh, if I'm, just come on my debate board, but then he'll censor you on his debate board. So it's like, yeah.
But you think that's not the main interface to people for him. The main interface to people is his YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
That's the place where you should encourage the conversation. And
he just obviously wants to avoid any dissenting opinions.
He wants that channel to be perfectly curated comments. So, wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Space Potato. I do appreciate that. Does that have anything to do with the potato radius, or how did you come to have Space Potato as your name?
I came up with that years ago for my Steam username, and I just I like space stuff, and potatoes are cool, I guess. So why not combine them?
Can you let's see? Can you say anything in particular about what you do? Willing to share?
Yeah, for my background, I did about 5 internships there during school. And then I worked at a defense contractor for a year, and just got back at NASA about 5 months ago. So I'm pretty new, definitely very new. But I do a few things, but my main project is communications. Not for anything that's like used now. It's kind of research for ways to improve communications in space in the future, because as you or some people may know, there's a lot of satellites. They all have their own frequency, and there's a lot of noise and interference. And so we're working on ways to mitigate that in the future.
I suppose, yeah, that problem, when I heard about the Orion and watching somebody or some description of that, the communication bandwidth that they have back to Earth is limited. Not, it's the most important thing they're doing right now, maybe, I suppose. But it's that other stuff is vying for time on those same receiving dishes, and they're important, and you can't just say, well, you're going to get bumped, right? Mm-hmm. It's these things have, they're going to get their time. And so Orion, too bad, you're not going to get it. So how do you, multiplex the time?
Yeah, I'm surprised that they use the Deep Space Network for Orion. I think in the future, they're going to have their own dedicated ground stations. And I know people are complaining about Artemis, like, oh, why is there not constant video and this and that? And it's because of what you said. It's fighting for time on the Deep Space Network. But
yeah,
when we have Gateway, and when we have, astronauts on the moon with their own, with, the lander having, what's Gateway?
Yeah.
It's, so the plan is to have a space station, a small space station in lunar orbit.
Okay.
So before, landing, the human landing system, the next lander is going to dock with it, and Orion's going to dock with it. And that's going to be like a intermediary point.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I'm not, for all the accusations I get for being paid by NASA, I'm actually not that much in sync with what is happening. Mm-hmm. I live streamed the the launch, just
that was fun
because it matched my time, right? If I wasn't gonna if it was during work hours or just at an inconvenient time, I wasn't gonna do it, but it worked out for me. So, I think it's cool, but
Mhm.
I was a little frustrated. They spent 50 years from when they went to the moon until they are launched again. Like, come on, we wanted you back anyway.
Yeah. Oh well.
Hey, we're going now. So awesome.
Mhm.
Does Round Thinker wonders, does communication require a container?
I think it does. You know, that's something we try to keep very secret. You know, don't want the general public to know about the container requirements. But
yeah,
I think I'll be the first to say, yeah, it does require a container.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Space Potato.
Thank you.
I'd love to have you maybe talk about something at some other time, but
yeah, anytime.
That'd be good. So
yeah, I watch your videos every Tuesday, every week. So
thank you. That's
Mhm.
That's cool. All right. Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna wrap this up now, so you can. I don't like to kick you out, so you can
Okay,
end it yourself. So, people, thank you very much. It's been a lot of fun. And too bad that David didn't show up. I don't know what happened to him. I'll send him an email and see what happened. Maybe get a reschedule. I don't suspect it was anything. Maybe he just forgot. So, I don't have. Let me just double check. No, I don't have a email back from him. So I don't know. Anyway, David, it will, when we do have that conversation, it'll be good. Thank you everybody for coming along. It's been great. This video will self-destruct. Actually, I'll put it back up again in a few days, but I want the previous one to be the one that that gets YouTube's promotion time so yeah, there it is. It gets unlisted. So it's the Ryan's video is the one that, oh, poor Ryan. Anyway, people, thank you very much. If you haven't seen my video on the Conspiracy Tunes channel, go there, post it around. It addresses Witsit directly. It specifically addresses his claims. I also do Paul on the Plane video. That guy, he's not as think as he smart he is. Anyway, welcome. Thank you. Enjoy the Christmas outro music.